Make sure you podcast yesterday, rebuildingtheman.com/church. It was, I can't find the words. It was grace. It was mercy. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let me go to, is it GAYLE? Out of Pennsylvania. GAYLE, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm jealous.
You're jealous?
I'm jealous because you are in sunny California and I'm in the deep freeze, although most of the time you stand on shaky ground.
Right. It's cold in Pennsylvania right now, huh?
Yes.
What a mess.
It's been cold for the past 2 weeks. Now, yesterday, it did get up to 55, but then it went back downhill. So it's supposed to rain today. But when I think of California, I think of shaky ground. And when I think of Florida, I think the ground is sinking.
So there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
That is true.
Amazing.
That is true.
How did you end up in Pennsylvania from the South?
Well, I've been a gypsy most of my life. Okay. I've lived in different states. And how I was a prodigal daughter, okay? You know, the prodigal son in the Bible.
And what do you mean you're the prodigal daughter?
I lived in different places.
Oh.
Yeah, I lived in different states.
What was wrong with you?
How I ended up in Pennsylvania was the fact that I am old now.
How old are you?
And just as I've told you before, but I guess you did with so many people you can't remember. I'm 74.
Oh,
I'm a spry 74. So look at me. You wouldn't think I'm as old as I am. But anyway, getting back to why I'm here is that I moved in with my son. I was living with my daughter. I was living before in a senior citizen building. I didn't like that because I was by myself and I needed family around me. So then I moved with my daughter, and she didn't have a place for me to go to the bathroom. I had to go upstairs. If I was downstairs in the townhouse, I had to go upstairs to the bathroom. So my son said, "Oh, come and stay with me, and you'll have a bathroom." So that's how I ended up in Pennsylvania. I was living with my daughter in Baltimore.
So what is it like? Where was your husband?
Where was my husband?
Yeah.
God only knows that. So.
Is he dead or something?
Huh?
Is he dead?
Well, you could say that.
Oh, what was it like imposing on your children like this?
I am not imposing on my children.
But they sound like that your son is now stuck with you at 74.
No, he's not stuck with me.
Why?
At 74.
What do you call it?
I call it us helping each other out like families should. Some families should live together because rent is high.
And who said that? Who made that rule that some families should live together because the other family refused to take care of themselves?
I take care of myself. I have my own money, sweetheart.
But you don't have your own place.
Don't take it there, okay? I got my own money.
But you don't have your own place. You have imposed on your son.
I've had my own place, okay?
But why?
And then every year they raise the rent. So I got tired of that. And
so now your son's stuck with you.
Okay, you can, okay, Jesse, my son is stuck with me. That's fine. If you want to go that route, yeah, my son is stuck with me, and I'm stuck with him.
And are you okay that he's stuck with you?
We stuck with each other.
But are you okay
I probably don't have much longer to be here because at my age now, I got 1 foot on the banana peel and 1 foot in the grave.
Oh, you dying?
Not that I know of, but, eventually it's going to happen.
What a mess. I would hate to be stuck with my mama.
Say what?
I would hate to be stuck with my mama.
Well, Jesse, you have some issues, I do believe. But, I ain't going to go into that either, except for the fact that I'm going to go into the issue. I was listening to your fellowship yesterday, and you make some statements about women. It's like you be punching at women, and it's because of the fact there's some issues still unresolved in your life towards women. There is still a level of
what did I say?
You carry because you come across that way.
What did I say that wasn't true about women?
Well, you just make some really. Yesterday, you said you were talking about dead people, and you said, "Well, if my wife, I don't care what you do with her."
When she die?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Why should I care if she did? She did.
Why should you care?
If she did, yeah.
If she dead, it was the principle. It was how you came across. Like,
What do you mean?
I'm just gonna throw this out here because I'm gonna be insensitive. And it appears, Jesse, sometimes you're very insensitive towards women when you make comments.
What did I say that wasn't true? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if I'm wrong about it, I would want to know that. You know what I mean? What did I say that was not true about women?
Okay, I feel that you was insensitive
what do you
when
mean?
you said that. When you said that, if she's dead, I don't care.
I mean, how are you supposed to be sensitive about someone that's dead? What does that mean? I don't even know that.
Jesse,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know I don't know what you mean by that. How are you supposed to be sensitive if the person is dead?
Okay, I give you that.
You'll give me what?
Okay. I agree with you with that. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so what have I said or say about women that's not true?
You don't know all women. You haven't been with all women, so you say women are evil.
Am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
And why do you say I'm wrong about that?
Because you have not been with every woman, Jesse.
But God said that they were evil.
If you're talking about God and Eve and Adam in the Garden of Eden.
Before you go to that, was God wrong?
Was God wrong?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that in the scripture about God calling women evil.
When Satan became Eve's God.
Say that again.
Remember when Satan became Eve's God? He became the woman's God in the Bible?
Well, the serpent was created by God.
Do you remember when the serpent became the woman's God?
Well, she chose to follow what Satan said.
Do you remember when the serpent became the woman's God?
I don't believe that he actually became the woman's God. I think he influenced her. And see, the thing about
Do you remember when the serpent became the woman's God? With Eve, started with Eve?
I don't agree with that.
So you don't agree with God?
I don't agree with you thinking and saying that God said a woman was evil.
Well, he said because you listened to the serpent, you're going to pay the price. And she's been paying the price ever since.
Well, that's true, Jesse. And Adam has been paying the price, too, for listening to Eve.
Right.
Remember, we had this discussion before.
Right.
And I said that Adam should have been with Eve. If Adam had been with Eve.
Adam should not have been with Eve. He couldn't be with Eve everywhere. Eve is responsible for Eve. And the women always try to blame somebody else for their evil. You can't blame Adam for Eve's action.
Well, well, wait a minute, Jesse. Didn't Adam turn around and say to God, the woman you gave me the apple to eat?
Right.
Okay, didn't he put the blame back on Eve?
Right, and he wasn't supposed to. He was wrong for blaming Eve, and Eve is wrong for blaming Adam. And that's why human beings are suffering now, because when you don't blame anyone for your issues, you overcome them. But when you do blame someone else, you get deeper into them. And so the woman is the man's God until he overcome, and Satan is the woman's God until she overcome evil. How do you think women became so evil?
Well, I don't think that way. I don't think that women are evil.
You think they're good?
But, yeah.
You think women are
they
good?
Want to be good, if, like you said, if they overcome. But each person
you
has
think women are good
experiences in life.
So what now?
And it causes them to act the way that they do. Some women are evil because of the life that they've had to live.
No, they're evil because they're angry. They love to be angry. They love the devil.
Okay, yes, Jesse, they are angry, and they do take those issues out on other people that they should. But then they have to come to that realization.
Right.
Okay, this is not right. And how GAYLE know, how I know this is because for years I used to take things out on other people because of how I had to live my life. And I had to come to that realization.
Right.
I can't do that.
Did you forgive your mother?
Did I forgive my mother?
Did you
She's dead.
Did you forgive her?
As far as forgiving my mother and my grandmother, I was one of those kids that I was a mistake, and I always felt like I wasn't loved. But at my age now, sure, I forgive all of that because...
Did you forgive your mother and grandmother?
Yes.
And when you say you were a mistake, what do you mean?
I was born out of wedlock.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
and your dad and mama didn't want you?
That's what I felt. That's how I felt.
When you asked them about it, what did they say?
I never asked them about it.
Why not?
Because I was always one of those people that always look at everybody through rose-colored glasses.
Why didn't you ask them about it?
Huh?
Why didn't you ask your father, your mother about that you
because
felt?
I never saw the bad. I never saw the bad.
Well, then how did you feel that you were a mistake if you didn't see the bad?
I didn't see the bad until later in life because of what I experienced.
And then did you ask them about it then?
Yeah, no, I didn't think of it like that.
Oh, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I always saw the good in everybody.
But you never see ain't no good in nobody. There's no good in human beings.
Well, yeah, that's true because of sin, yes.
No, because they're evil.
Sin is taking over, yes.
It's because they're evil.
Yeah.
And so...
Because Satan is in operation. Do you realize that the reason why young people are the way that they are is because when the Supreme Court back in 1963 decided to take prayer and the Ten Commandments out of schools, that left kids with no option to choose whether what road they was going to go down, whether they could choose what the Ten Commandments say, and they could choose prayer. They was not given that option when the Supreme Court took that out of school. So that's why we have hell with the young people. They kill the parents. They have no respect.
But that's not why. No, that's not why they have it. Yes, they had an impact when they took prayer out of school, for sure. But the reason you have so much hell on earth is that they hate their mothers and they're yearning for their fathers. They have become like their mothers, meaning that they're full of evil. They're angry and evil. That's why they're that way. Not because they took prayer out of school. Because
I'll give you that too, because I was angry about my father. I used to yearn for my father.
Yeah.
a stepfather and my biological father, and I always felt like neither one of them cared for me.
Yeah.
But that's all in the past. That's,
But you haven't gotten
they all
over it yet.
did.
You haven't gotten over that yet.
Well, and that's why I say, Jesse, you haven't gotten over. You have some bitterness in your heart toward women.
Why don't you drop your anger? Because you said you have one foot in the grave and one on top of the dirt. Why don't you
on the banana pillars?
Why don't you drop your anger?
Well, sometimes, Jesse, I think it keeps me moving.
No, it's not. It's killing you. Why don't you just drop? Anger is evil. Anyone that has anger is evil, and you cannot trust an angry person.
But you don't know me, Jesse, so how do you know?
Why haven't you dropped your anger?
I have dropped my anger.
No, you still have it.
I told you I have dropped it.
No, you still have it. You have not dropped your anger, and you're now old, and you got one foot in the grave. And
one foot on the banana peel.
If you die in your condition that you're in on earth, you're going to end up like that for the rest of your life. There's no way out. You don't want to drop your body in the spirit of anger.
But I have peace.
No, you don't.
A lot of stuff God is taking away from me.
You don't have peace. You don't have peace.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You can't have anger and peace.
Well,
why don't you drop your anger before the other foot go down in the grave?
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
By what?
That I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry.
You have anger. You're not at peace yet. You have spare moments of happiness, but happiness is not peace.
Well, I have a lot more spurs of happiness than I used to have.
I'm sorry?
I'll put it that way.
You have a lot more what?
I have more perks of happiness than I used to have, okay?
Right, but you still don't have peace. And if you drop your body...
Well, I don't understand what you mean by I don't have peace. You're saying that I carry the anger, and I telling you I dropped it because you need to talk to my children, and they'll tell you that I'm not nothing the way I used to be.
What would happen if your son...
Most of my life, I have been around evil, okay? So I know what evil is because I used to have to stare it in the face, okay?
But
I decided that I was not going to go that route anymore. So I have changed my attitude.
And so what would happen if your son came in and told you, Mom or Mother or whatever, you got to move out of my house and get your own place over there in the old people home? Would you still have peace?
Yeah.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will, too.
So why don't you move out and let him have his own space?
Because he has his own space.
No, he can't. You're in the way.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, you need to ask him, but since, he wouldn't take the time to talk to you, so...
He's not going to tell you. He doesn't want to hurt your feelings, or he's afraid to, or he believes that he owes you because you're his mama, and so he's operating out of guilt. If you didn't,
okay, Jesse.
If you had perfect peace, you would tell your son, you know what, son? I have no business living on you. I'm going to go over here to this old people home and get my own place, get on Social Security and Medicare and everything else.
I have all of that, okay?
So then why don't you go get your own place and get off your son?
I tell you what, next time I see him, I'm going to ask him, am I a burden on him?
Yeah, you are. He might not be able to tell you because...
And then the next time I talk to you, Jesse, I'll let you know what he said.
All right. But make sure he's not afraid to be honest with you. He's not concerned about hurting your feelings or anything, all right?
Okay, the next thing, Jesse.
But he
I
should
wanna
not he should not have to tell you that. Look like you would love him enough to go and make another way for yourself rather than being a burden on him without him having to tell you that. Where is that kind of love?
I tell you what, Jesse, I'll ask him that too.
No, I'm asking you, why don't you love him enough to know that you should not be living with him? He need to be able to try to have his own life. And then because you can move into an old people home, and they're nice homes now, high-rising building and everything.
I told you, Jesse, I used to live in one.
I know. Go back to it.
No.
Why not?
Because they're like tombs.
What?
They're like tombs.
Like tombs?
You know how the tombs in the graveyard? That's what they're like.
No, but you're being selfish.
They're like living in tombs.
No, they're not. Graveyard. They're not. I've seen those places. They're nice places.
Yeah, they are.
But then you said
really
they're like
nice
tombs.
Places. But
they're not like a tomb. They're very nice, and you have other old people to play with. You know,
you are so funny, Jesse. I just want to say one other thing. Now, I'll let you go because I'm sure you have other people to talk to. Bryce Mitchell, I really enjoyed that interview that you had.
Bryce Mitchell, the UFO fighter, he was on the Father State this past Friday.
Yes.
FatherState.tv.
Well, did he win the fight?
He won.
Oh, okay. So it saved your farm, right?
I should have put my money on him. I didn't put any money on him. Even though he's a UFC fighter, right? Even though he sounded so confident that he was going to win, he was like, I'm going to win. You can put the farm on it. Maybe not all the cows, and I should have. Did you put money on him?
No.
Why not?
Because I was just looking at the interview. I didn't take it any further than that. What I wanted to say about the whole situation is that I like the idea that, you know, we have a more variety of people that you speak to. You just don't speak to a certain group of people. You have a variety. And what I mean by that is that you're not talking about what mainstream is talking about. They're always talking now about Trump and Obama and Biden and the illegal aliens and this CEO got killed and I think because it's like sometimes we need to discuss. There's other realms. There's a spiritual realm that operates that nobody's really talking about.
Absolutely.
Only a few.
Absolutely.
So I like that you know you had that interview with him because demons are real. They are.
They are. You can be sure that there is a God and there is a devil. That's for sure.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's true, Jesse. So.
Well, thank you for letting me know that. I'm glad you enjoyed Bryce Mitchell on the FatherState.tv. So will you move out? Will you show your son love by moving out?
I'm not moving, Jesse.
So you won't show him love by moving out?
I'm not moving, Jesse.
And why not?
Because I have my heaven right here.
I bet you do, but he's catching hell from your heaven.
No, he's not.
I guarantee you he's unhappy with it.
I tell you what.
What?
I'm going to ask him, and the next time I call you, I'll let you know what he said.
Be sure to let me know, all right?
All right.
Good to hear from you. Call me again, Gayle.
Okay, love you.
Love
Later.
you back. Okay. Back in a moment.
Brock knocks and bought 24 coffees. Very generous. Thank you for guiding me towards God. Your influence has truly touched my heart and helped me find a path I deeply cherish. God bless you, Jesse. Respectfully, Brock.
Right on. Thank you. And stay on that straight and narrow path. I want to warn all the men and women who are on the path, stay on it. Stay there, stay there, stay there, no matter what, endure to the end. Because the devil's going to come after you in ways that you can't even imagine in your mind and outside of you, inside of other people. Because the devil does not want to depart from you. You got to understand that evil, the devil, thoughts. Did you know that thoughts are really your enemy? I mean, they hate you. They are like your total enemies, and that your thoughts and your emotions and are your Judas. What do you think about that?
It's pretty interesting, but it seems definitely true. Because like when you're feeling good about events turning around, they're really kind of turning on you. Like
yes,
you're kind of setting yourself up for a trap.
Yep.
Because you think something's good, and then when you're in your head and upset, that's also unnecessary.
Absolutely,
you're supposed to be rejoicing
in all things.
Yeah,
amazing. I didn't know the depths of how evil our thoughts really were. As you overcome them, you're going to see they are your thoughts, your emotions. And if you notice that the devil always whispered to you, he'll go over and kiss you on the cheek. And he act like he give you some good advice, but it's never really good advice. And then when you don't take it, he'll come up and give you some more advice, and he'll kiss you on the cheek and make you think it's real, and then you destroy yourself. You have your Judas inside of you and outside of you, inside of other people. For your sake, folks, you should, if you want, pay attention to what's going on in your imagination. Judas is not just outside of you, inside of other people. He's inside of you as well. And when Christ talked about it, as I said yesterday in the fellowship, everything Christ talked about for the most part was spiritual, but the people couldn't understand. They saw it as physical. Just like the people do today, I ask people a question, automatically they give you physical examples. I say, have no fear. And I say, you have fear. It automatically think, well, I'm not afraid of nobody. That's not what I'm talking about, right? And that's the way they were during the days that Christ walked the earth. They couldn't understand he meant spiritual. It's like those Christians who believe that Christ is coming back and they are looking up in the sky and expecting some man to come down. They thought Christ meant physical, but he meant spiritual, and he's already come. And because they're still waiting, looking on the outside for the answer, they don't see that Christ has already returned and is done, and he's in you. Isn't that amazing? I understand that you're lost and can't see. Amazing. Thank you.
Lori bought a coffee. Nice fellowship, Jesse. Love the spirit conversation.
Yeah.
I know we are controlled by whatever spirits inhabit us, either life force spirits of God, which loves and frees us, or spirits of death that come from the devil, which guides us to hell and hates us. Spirits influence and control us. I'm a living being, soul in a body with spirits in here as well guiding me. That's what I see going on in me.
What a mess. We had a discussion yesterday about spirits. Are you a spirit? So check that out, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Very interesting. The one thing I realized about that is human beings cannot handle living without some form of identity. Even though you tell them it's a false identity, you're not supposed to have any ideas at all. Clear mind, they still come up with some form of identity. And I understand it, but it's not good. You want to die from identity. All right? Amazing. Thank you.
Nice.
Josh out of New York. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How's it going, Jesse? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Josh.
So I had a bunch of biblical suggestions that I wanted to share to you.
Oh, give them to my producer.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
There's
give
like
it.
13, 14 I have.
Oh, okay. Send it to producer@jesseleepeterson.com.
Sure.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, yeah, no problem. And I just want to talk about waking up.
Okay.
So I called in a year ago. It was like November last year, and I said I already woke up. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous then.
Relax.
All the beta emotions coming up.
Boo!
So I called a year ago, and I said I already woke up at that point, and we talked, and you said you could pass the bucket, the soul has been saved, blah blah blah.
All right.
Now I realize what happened to me. It was a quote unquote ego death, and now I've been in the quote unquote dark night of the soul, learning about everything I have inside me, and I had no clue how deep it went. It's been like pretty incredible. There was one day where it felt like it was when I had COVID. It was like a few months ago. It felt like the fabric of the universe was like breaking down. It was pretty scary and intense, but when I got past it, it's just all these things happen. And I just grow and get better and better and better. Yeah, it's hard to describe. Sorry, I didn't really have much to talk about besides the biblical question suggestions.
Oh, okay. Well, send those to producer@jesseleepeterson.com. But I want to encourage you to stay with it. You stay on that straight and narrow. Just stay there,
Absolutely.
stay there, and stay there, and watch those thoughts. And as you sound like you're doing it, and know that they're not you. And I'm telling you, man, those things, those spirits, because they are evil spirits, the thoughts is your enemy, your bitter enemy. So just watch them, and it's gonna get better. You're gonna have a clear mind, and you're gonna have perfect peace, and it will be amazing.
Right. I catch glimpses of it now.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm becoming a completely different person. I didn't think, I always listened to the things you said, and I was like, wow, that sounds so true. Everyone else really is like that. But working on myself, I realized, you were talking about me as well, like just realizing, because I was super beta. I grew up in my grandparents' house with my mom. My dad wasn't around, and I grew up thinking my mom was an angel. And it's just working on myself, discovering everything inside me. I became her completely.
Yep.
I just head to toe, and I also see how deep the evil goes, and I really see I don't have the right to judge another human on this earth, not Hitler, not any of those elites or whatever that do all the crazy things. I see how deep it goes inside me, and it's been pretty amazing seeing that.
Right on.
It's also been humbling seeing how confusing and tricky the mind is, and you think you got it, but then every step of the way you realize it goes deeper and deeper and deeper.
It does. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just humbling every step you go. You're like, you really have no right to get offended or hurt by anything. You're not a victim of anything or anyone. And it's just becoming an adult is a man is what I realized has happened to me, and I didn't think it could happen. Because I was just so far in the darkness. It was kind of mind blowing that I'm actually overcoming where I was at.
Right on. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Right on. You're fortunate to be waking up such an early age. And you're right. Every male is 100% mama. They have the spirit of their mother. It doesn't matter what color the male is or how much money he has or don't have, or wherever he live or don't live. Every male is the nature, the spirit of their mother, and that's why salvation is about a return to the Father. You got to overcome the spirit of the mother and return to the Father. So you stay with it, man, and just stay and just go see it all the way to the end, no matter how long it takes, how painful it seems. You stay with it.
Right. I think I'm past a majority of the pain now.
Right on.
And I've been doing it for over a year now, and it's been, I just had no idea how when you said it goes deep, I had no idea how deep it went.
Yeah.
Amazing. And also, and I know men are betas and men are like women, but I also see how crazy women are now.
Yes.
And I don't, and I really just laugh at them now. It's not, I don't get upset or angry at them. I just, see that how bad they try to make me angry or make people angry.
Yeah.
And I see that they're just yearning for a father, and they're, like basically go through life throwing a hissy fit. And I see that I'm not, men truly are above them spiritually when they get rid of their emotions, when they overcome their mothers. They naturally are, above them, and women are deep down secretly, whether they admit it or not, looking for, a non-emotional man to be above them.
Yeah.
But they don't see it in the world, so they get pissed off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a mess. I got to run, Josh, but amazing.
Sure.
You're absolutely right. And you stay with it, man. Stay with it. Stay with it, all right?
I will. All right. Thank you, Jesse.
And see it all the way through the end. And send those suggestions to my producer.
Sure. Okay.
All right, buddy. Amazing. You can wake up if you want to, folks. Or you can stay asleep. It's really up to you. God is okay with it. His son is okay with it. I'm okay with it. Hake is okay with it. Nick is okay with it. Joe Friday is okay with it. Daniel is okay with it. Daniel's producer of the FatherState.tv. My radio producer is okay with it. Omid is okay with it. Doug is okay with it. And I think that's it. That's okay with it. Amazing. A lot of stuff today. Hey, when you said that you want to be the Trump type of you say Christian?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I
already think I know what you mean, but what do you mean?
Real, for one. Loving everybody for another.
Do you love all?
Who, me?
No, you.
That's questionable. No.
You don't love all people? What?
I'm shaking my head for those podcast listeners.
And why not?
Because I'm like that Black Lives Matter lady.
What?
The
racist?
The B word.
Oh.
Let's go with beta. That sounds better.
Yeah, you're beta.
Terrible.
That's amazing.
Indeed.
I'm surprised you don't love all people.
Me too.
You sound proud of it.
No, it's pretty miserable not loving everybody.
I know it is. Why do you want to live a miserable life? It's interesting, the things that God asks us not to do and what we don't do.
I know.
That we do.
It's like the exact thing, and it's repeated in the Bible.
Yeah.
And they ignore all that stuff.
He said to love one another as I loved you. Love all, right? Even your enemy. People don't love. That's the last thing a human being has is love. Then he said, don't judge unless you'll be judged. Don't judge. And that's all they do is judge.
Yeah.
It's like the two primary things that really make life for you. Oh, and then he said, bring all thoughts into captivity.
Don't worry.
Right, don't worry. Bring all thoughts into, and what the people, they love their thoughts.
Indeed.
And then you tell them, hey, let your thoughts go. Like, what a mess, huh? Why can't you love all, man?
Maybe it's just habit.
What do you mean?
I have like a long tradition throughout my life of not loving.
Oh, so you have a habit of hating?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you break the habit?
Right.
No, that was a question.
I'm not sure. I kind of know. Because I'm too lazy to break it. Something like that. Awkward.
Whatever. What a mess
It is.
of the Hake report.
You're making me blush. It's hot in here. It's always hot and stuffy in here, honestly, though.
It ain't that hot.
I know. Anyway.
Fire. Let me go to Patrick out of Massachusetts. Patrick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning to everybody there. Hake, Joel, your whole crew. Thank
Right.
you for taking my call, brother.
Right on.
All right, man. First, I just want to comment real quick. I have nothing against maize or anything. I just want to comment something that she was talking about the Pledge of Allegiance. And I really do know why she doesn't like it and she doesn't want it for the kids. Because she was born on the greatest country on this side of heaven, you know? She wasn't born on South America or Africa, so she doesn't know how it is to be down there and not have that pledge of allegiance and have that patriotism to the country. That only does good for the country. When I came to America in 2015, then we used to do the Pledge of Allegiance every day on my school, and I used to love it. I didn't see that on my country.
Yeah.
It was good for the kids. We had the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and that was awesome. I just wanted to comment on that.
That's
the
a
reason why she
very
doesn't
good
like it.
point. People who grew up in freedom don't seem to understand communism or socialism. And you make a
Exactly.
point. I just, Mays doesn't know the difference between socialism and communism, and that's why they can't appreciate prayer in the schools and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. They don't have the same understanding. You make a good point, Patrick.
Yeah, when she said it, I saw that the same time as she said it, I saw it. I saw how my country is and how America is and what good it does to love your country and love your people. This country is the best on this side of heaven. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to comment on that. And
I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you, man. No problem. And again, I have no problems with her, man. It's just
Right.
I just want to comment on that.
I understand.
All right. And I called today just because I called you some weeks ago, and I just want to tell you about my progress, you know, because I called you saying that I had some problems with marijuana, that I couldn't stop smoking. I wanted to, but I couldn't. And your advice for me was every time that I was going to smoke, I just be present on the moment, not be caught up on my head. And that's exactly what I did. You know, every time that I wanted to smoke, I was present. And man, after 3-4 days after I did that, it just changed, man. Like I didn't get the urge anymore. And I saw that the thing that wanted me to smoke, it was not me. It was never me.
Yeah.
Never. Myself, the person that I don't know who it is, that is me, that I still don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but he doesn't want to smoke, man. Like yesterday, I was working, and Sunday, man, every day. And the guy that I did the job, he was like, "Oh, you smoke weed? You want some weed?" I said, "No, man, I'm good." I didn't even thought about two times. I just said no because I had no urge for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm present all day, every day, and I can realize that I don't need that for myself. The real me never wanted that.
That's right. Absolutely. That's amazing.
That's amazing, and I want to appreciate you so much for what you did, man. I'm not counting that as a win. I'm still on the straight and narrow path.
Yes.
Silent prayer every single day, morning, night, and I'm gonna keep with it until the day I die, man. And for me, stop smoking, stop being unconscious while I'm high, man. It does like 100% better for my soul and for me, and to get better, man. And I want to appreciate you so much for what you did for me, man. It really helped me.
Well, Patrick, if you stay present, practice staying present, and you haven't seen anything, your whole life will be made perfect. You're going to have an amazing life because you're going to be walking in the light instead of in the darkness of your imagination, of your thoughts, right? Your thoughts are not your friend. They are your enemies, and they hate you. They want to destroy you. They are wicked to the core. So just practice that, stand present, and everything will happen on your behalf. It's amazing, man.
And what you're saying, I know that is 100% true, and I trust you, and I see what it's doing to my life, man. And I'm gonna keep with it, and I'm gonna keep you in touch with you, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man.
Right on. Thank you, man. Amazing.
Have an amazing afternoon, man. Thank you.
You too, buddy. Amazing. Stay present, folks. Really. Come out of the darkness of your imagination. That's all you have to do. Isn't that amazing? And the one thing you have to do is the one thing that you won't do. Come out of the darkness of your dark imagination. Emily is out of Indiana. Emily, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, Emily.
Hi, how you doing?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Well, good. I've been listening, and I saw Hake just a minute ago when he said he doesn't love all people.
Right.
I want to help him out on this. I want to help him out.
Thank
That
you.
was a struggle with me a few years ago. If you think about it, God commands us to love one another. That's a command.
Yes.
But guess what he doesn't do? He doesn't command us to like. You have to earn that.
To like?
So I think, yes, you don't have to like everybody. And to me, like is more important because it's like when you're married. You can be with a man that you love to death. You just love him. But if you don't like him, you can't stay with him that long because like has to be earned. You know what I'm saying?
But there's
you have to earn,
but you can't.
You have to earn it to be liked.
But you can't earn love, and there's no such thing.
No, you can't.
There's no such thing as like.
Oh yeah, there is.
No.
Oh yeah, there is.
It's either hate or love.
No,
there is no
that's not
gray
true,
area.
That's not true. That's
no,
not true.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
Where you get like from?
Because like is your personality. Like is how you act. Like is who you are.
No.
So, yes. I'm telling you,
No.
Jesse, listen to me. I was married twice, and both men, I loved them, but I didn't like them after I got married to them because they changed.
Because then you never loved them then. Because
Oh, yeah, I still love them.
hate want to respond to
No,
this
and
thing.
I did not. No. Listen, Jesse. Now, listen. I know you're awful stubborn when you get something in your mind.
What?
But listen, now, you get awful stubborn when you get something in your mind and you won't come off of it. But listen, I love you to pieces. But listen to me.
Okay.
Do you like Hake?
I love Hake. There's no
Okay.
such thing as like.
Jesse, there is. Do you
No.
like pinto beans and cornbread?
Yes.
All right, there you go. You think of Hake
But-
as pinto beans and cornbread.
No.
He is adorable, by the way. Okay.
What do you got to
Thanks.
say to this, Hake?
I said thanks. I already like and dislike a lot of people because I'm a hater.
Yes, but that's the thing, though. You have to earn the thing to be liked.
How can you earn that?
How you treat other people.
That's love.
No, honey, it's not. I hate to tell you.
No,
Jesse, but it's
honey.
not. Yes, baby, I got to tell you, you haven't been married long enough for enough
uh,
time yet to know that.
But people that are married don't love one another. They hate one another.
Because let me tell you why. When you first meet somebody, there's different kinds of love, by the way, Jesse. You don't marry somebody because you love them in the godly way. You marry them because there's something about them that you fall in love with.
No, you marry
then I
them because
realized-
you hate them.
No.
Well, why
Hang
do you
on,
think marriages don't work?
Let me tell you why. And women just as much as men. And by the way, I love men to death. I just can't. I don't like women. I don't have any women friends. I don't like women.
Why not?
Because we're a bunch of goofballs. We are very emotional. We're, especially now in this. By the way, did you just see they found Daniel Penny not guilty?
They did?
I just saw it come across on the screen when I was watching you.
Breaking news. Nice.
Well,
Kyle
let's confirm
Rittenhouse
this. Hold on. We don't
Hold on,
necessarily...
before I celebrate, let Hake gonna confirm it.
Okay, yes. Well, Kyle Rittenhouse put a tweet on, and it said, Kyle Rittenhouse said, "Congratulations, Daniel Penny, on your not guilty verdict." Remember Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yes.
News Nation.
Yeah, another hero that we have.
Hold on 1 minute.
News Nation reports the jury in Daniel Penny's high-profile trial has returned and found the former Marine not guilty in the death of Jordan Neely.
Glory, hallelujah.
Comes after Judge Maxwell Wiley dismissed the manslaughter charge against him. So I guess they're done with it.
Oh,
I guess you're right.
Hallelujah.
Nice.
I broke news on your show.
You broke breaking news.
Jesse, you're going to have me come out there and work for you.
Evidently.
I'm not your typical woman, trust me.
This sounds like it.
Because I can't stand women. I'm telling you, I haven't had friends since I was a kid. When I realized when you're a kid, you like boys in school, and your girlfriends will take that boy away from you in a hot minute. And you know what I learned later?
What?
Guys don't do that to other guys.
Right. Yep.
Now, the crappy ones do.
Right. Absolutely.
A girl will take your man in a hot minute. And I thought, you know what? I don't like this women thing. Then I started listening to you. And I thought, you know what? Now I know why I don't like women. Because we are evil.
Yep.
We are Eve.
Yep.
We are Eve. And you can't get women to realize that. They don't like me because I say that. But, by George, my daddy raised me to see the truth.
Right on. That's
Just
amazing.
Look at the truth. You would have loved. You would have loved my father.
He's from the old school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't make them like that. Except for Trump, they don't make them like that.
He would be 113 right now.
Wow.
He was born in 1911.
Well, may his soul rest in peace.
Oh, he's in heaven with Jesus. Trust me.
Right on.
He was a great man.
The Anchor Baby had a question for you.
Oh, sure.
About like.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Emily.
Hi.
So,
By the way, I think you're just darling, honey. You are just adorable.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
I love your hair.
Listen, you were saying
you
about...
love his hair?
Yes, his hair looks amazing.
Somebody said his hair is better than mine.
Well, you both have great hair.
Oh, thanks.
Let's go.
Okay, Nick.
But Nick does have a nice head full of hair.
He does, honey. Oh, Lord. Put your fingers through that. Good heavens, good. By the way, I'm 70 years old, so I'm not even kind of a weirdo.
He's a spry 70.
She said she want to run her finger through your hair.
Oh, amazing.
As I would my grandchild.
Right. That's what you meant.
But go ahead, Nick.
You were talking about like, and
yes.
It sounded like when you were describing love, that you could fall out of love.
No. You fall out of like. That's what I'm saying.
But
God
when you describe
commands
falling out of
love.
like, it sounds like the same as falling out of love.
No, it's not, because here's the thing. Not my ex-husband, my late husband, he died. And my first husband, who died of cancer in 98. And
You
my late
killed
husband
both of
died
them?
last year. No, I tried. I couldn't. But Gary was 79 when he died. So he was just really old. But I stayed with him. I even when I fell out of like with him, I stayed with him because I took a vow before God. You got to honor that vow.
But you liked him at one point.
But I still treated him.
And that flipped.
Oh, yeah, I still treated him wonderful, and I still did what I was supposed to do as a wife.
But you liked him, right? And it flipped?
Oh, because he was likable when we were dating. But on the first date we got married, it was like I didn't know who I married.
So you confused like and love. Like, how does that
Oh, no. I loved him, and I liked him. I don't have a choice.
So you're not
to
wrong. Is someone wrong for falling out of love? Like, let's say you're supposed
Honey,
to love. You're wrong for not loving all, right?
If you fall out of love, then you're not following God's command.
Okay, but yet
to
you can
love
fall out of like, and there's no problem with that.
You can fall out of
You
like,
can do that all day.
which means
It sounds like
you
like
fall out
is
of
just a way of
like-
justifying not loving.
Oh, wait a minute. What did the Bible say about showing yourself friendly? That's like.
All right.
Amazing.
Thanks, Emily.
Emily, let me ask you before we run. I got to run here.
Okay, baby. I appreciate it.
Let me ask you this. I forgot what I was. Oh, thank you for the breaking news.
Yeah.
You are welcome, honey, and I appreciate you guys so very much. I love y'all so much.
I appreciate that.
You are just right on in so many things you do, and I pray for you guys. And I just love every one of you, especially Joel, honey. I love Joel.
He
I know
black.
you give him a hard time. I know he's black. He's black, and I love him.
Right on.
Wait, are you
Okay,
black or are
thank
you
you so
white,
much.
Emily?
Excuse me?
Are you white or black?
I am white. I'm extremely white.
Okay.
And I love white people. I think what hurt the black people was we gave them everything.
Yes.
And once you give people stuff, they don't earn it anymore.
Absolutely, Emily.
So what they
right.
did is we destroyed them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well-
Sammy Davis Jr. was my very favorite when I was a teenager.
He
I
black.
named my first car Stanley.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, because I love people. I love everybody.
Right
Especially
on.
you guys, though. Y'all
Thank
are
you.
amazing.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Emily.
great day.
Call me again.
I will. Bye-bye.
All right. So the breaking news is Danny Penny. Daniel, is it Daniel or Danny?
Daniel Penny.
Daniel Penny is a free man, I guess. It's all right. But now didn't the family say they're going to sue him or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yep.
Lord,
Of course.
Go sit down, family.
And lawyer liars.
What a mess.
Should change these frivolous lawsuits.
Amazing. I am thinking about what's happening in my country and in the world, but in my country especially. And I realized, maybe even more so, I've realized this for a while, is that the world is not going to change. It's not going to change. But you can overcome the world. Isn't that amazing? The world is not going to change, but you can overcome the world. You can overcome your reaction to the world. You can bank on it that the world is not going to change. And the reason for that is that most, not all, most, not all, but most human beings are not going to change. Their hearts are not going to change. Their heart will forever be wicked. And wicked people carry out the acts of hell on earth. Hell is on earth through people, and it's not going to change. But it's strange. It's interesting. It's amazing. You can change. And so your reaction to the world will change, and you will have peace on earth. You really will, but you got to work on yourself. Nobody can do it for you. You got to work on yourself. And the way you work on yourself is by becoming aware of yourself. There's no other way to change. Isn't that amazing? You can't change you. You can't change anyone, and you can't change you, but the awareness will change you of what's happening in you. It will change, and it really, really will. And those who are working on yourself, you're serious about it, have you seen a little small change in you? In the way that you think about things, or your reaction to things is not as dramatic. In a little way, it has changed. You don't get mad at the family anymore. You don't have to hang out with everyone anymore. You're not that needy of people. And little things in your life has changed. All of a sudden, things that was really important to you is no longer as important. And all you're really doing is watching. They're not you. And it's changing. Human beings are wicked. There's nothing good in human nature. There's nothing good in human beings. You're not going to find anything good in human beings. And so stop looking for the good. Why not pay attention to the evil so that you can overcome it? And you, yourself, all of us have to overcome evil if we want to be free. Most are not going to do it. They don't love freedom. They love enslavement. They love their misery. They love the thrill of being angry, or being sad, or being depressed, suicidal, or being judging. They love the misery, and they lie and pretend they don't by crying. And when they're crying, they're lying. They love it. They literally love it. And then Judas, their imagination tell them, well, if you only had this, or you only had that, or you will only go here, or you will only go there, you will be happier. And you do it, and you're not happy. What the? The world is evil. The world is hell on earth. You say, oh, I'm afraid of dying. I don't want to go to hell. I'm afraid of dying. You're already in hell, dummy. You're in hell already. And when what you call death happens, only thing you're going to do is drop your body in hell if you have not overcome hell while alive. I want to give you an example of evil. Pure, outright evil. And it's what seems to be a big example, but it's the same thing that's happened in your life with your family, your friends, your husband, your wife, your children, your job, your everything. It's the same thing happening everywhere. So you might know by now, if not breaking news, but the news was broken yesterday on this show. Someone called in and said Daniel Penny was acquitted. I think someone told us that yesterday. But Fox has reported Daniel Penny. And Daniel is the guy that was accused of, quote unquote, killing some black guy on the train there in New York in a chokehold. And it had been reported that the black guy was making all kind of crazy threats and acting weird and doing crazy things. And Daniel tried to stop him. And Daniel is a white guy, and because Daniel is white, he had to go to trial. That's the only reason Daniel had to go to trial, because the DA is black there in New York, and Daniel is white. But amazingly, he was made free yesterday. Fox 5 has reported Daniel Penny has been acquitted of all charges, all of them. All of them. In the chokehold death of some black guy by the name of Neely on a crowded NYC subway train last year. That's amazing, been a year. Watch this from Fox 5.
Daniel Penny is now a free man after a jury of 12 Manhattanites acquitted him in a case that has sparked public outrage over the subway chokehold's death of Jordan Neely, a homeless man whose behavior, according to witnesses, was violent and alarming on that crowded F train. Penny showing emotion for the first time in the courtroom since the trial began over a month ago, smiling as his defense attorneys embraced him immediately after the not guilty verdict. The courtroom erupting in applause. Neely's father turning to someone behind him, cursing in anger, saying, "Are you clapping when my son got blanking killed?" Protests quickly turning violent outside the courthouse, with one person arrested. The verdict comes after the court dismissed the first count of second-degree manslaughter after the jury had a difficult time coming to a unanimous decision. After 5 days of deliberations, they delivered the not guilty verdict on the second count of criminally negligent homicide. The defense team argued throughout the trial that Penny was justified in his restraint of Neely.
I wasn't trying to, injure him, right? I'm just trying to keep him from hurting anybody else.
Prosecutors failed to convince jurors that Penny was reckless or negligent in his chokehold.
I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts.
Our call to action is to take care of each other. We can't rely on outside people. If we see someone asking for food, we have to take the responsibility to give it to them.
That's a lie. It's not your responsibility to give him food. And all of a sudden they so hurt over Neely. What about all the time he was, according to report, and allegedly living on the streets, being high and all that stuff, they say. All of a sudden they hurt. Isn't that amazing? Human beings are evil. And so Daniel Penny was a hero on the train. They said that when he stopped that black guy Neely from whatever he may have done to hurt others, the people applauded him. He was a hero on the train. But when he walked off the train, he was a criminal. Isn't that amazing? Hell on earth, human beings are evil. And so people were saying, you know what? If this happened to Daniel Penny, he had to go to jail and court and all that. When I see people about to get hurt or get beat in the public, I'm not doing anything. I'm not lifting a hand. And can you blame them? Especially if you're white. If you're white. But according to this report, Daniel Penny is free. Back free again. I wonder will he ever try to help anyone else. I wonder will he ever try to help anyone else. So I want to show you what evil look like now. It's pure evil. And I want to break it down so you can understand that these people, so-called Black Lives Matter, far left, liberal, radical group of people worse than the KKK. They make the KKK look like angels. I hate to even compare them to the KKK because they're worse than the KKK. Ku Klux Klan. Really, they are. So instead of saying thank you to Daniel Penny, these Black Lives Matter people pretend that they're hurt by it. So I want you to listen to some of their words. They act as though it happened to them. Right? It was just one black guy and one white guy. One Daniel Penny, white, one black Neely, and the Black Lives Matter people want to organize and start a mess. It's just all thrills. It's all attention for the ego. It's not about Neely. It's not about Daniel Penny. It's about self-gratification. It's about getting attention for self. All black people were not involved in that. Only one. There appeared to be other black people trying to hold the black guy down on the train there, but it didn't happen to all black people. Think about it. It only happened with one black guy and one white man. And so Black Lives Matter is out there protesting because they want attention. That's all it's about. It's not about love. It's not about black. It's about attention. It's about hatred of the heart. So Black Lives Matter responded to the verdict of Daniel Penny going free. Watch this from Fox.
The verdict causing the courtroom to erupt in claps from Penny's defense, as well as threats on Penny's life from Black Lives Matter leaders who just days ago promised riots if Penny was acquitted.
Everybody else has vigilantes. We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People
That's
want to
right, she
jump
said.
up and choke us
Choke
and
us.
kill us
And
for
kill
being
us.
loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
The only crime that Jordan Neely was guilty of was the color of his skin. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Them and America.
See the hatred? GG them and GG America. Black people. And they are pretending that they are so hurt over Neely. Where were these people when Neely were out on the street? And I think it was reported he'd been out of jail before. Where were those people then? They didn't love Neely then? All of a sudden, they love Neely, right? They're hurt. And you fall for it. These people are evil. They have no love, not for Daniel Penny or Neely or anyone else. GD America, they say. And GD the white people in their Christmas. It's been reported that Neely from Newsweek, but this is from Newsweek, Neely record has 42 prior arrests dating back from 2013 to 2021. Think about that. The black guy, 23, according to the Newsweek, 23 prior arrests. 42 prior arrests, 42. Dating back from 2013 to 2021. Or in 2021. Where were Black Lives Matter? Where was his daddy? Was his daddy not hurt then? Was his daddy not hurt as he is right now? Was Black Lives Matter trying to get vigilante when Neely, if it's true that he has 42 prior arrests? Why they weren't hurt then? All of a sudden they're hurt? All of a sudden they're mad? All of a sudden we are being slapped on a train? It was one person and one person only. It wasn't every black person. It was one person. I really want you to wake up and see how you're being played. See how you're being played. This is not happening to every black person. And you have no business saying GD America or white in their Christmas. These people not heard about Jordan Neely at all. It's an act, folks. It's evil. It's hell on earth that dwells in human beings. When Christ said that anyone who has anger, which is hatred, is evil and do not trust an angry person, he wasn't lying. It's worse, it's deeper than what you can even imagine. And the reason you don't see the depths of it, you don't see it in yourself. You won't see it. And that's why, that's why your heart is not changing. You don't see that you're evil. Every human being is evil until they start to work on themselves and overcome it. So I want to just remind you, Black Lives Matter is not representing anyone but themselves. Each individual is about self. It's not about blacks. It's not about whites. It's not about America. It's about self. The thrill of being acting so, pretending that they're mad. Pretending they want to organize and I'm just ticked. Where were you when Jordan Neely was in prison, in jail, in and out of jail? Why y'all didn't go and give him a piece of bread and help him then? Why you didn't give him some bread? You said you're obligated to get somebody some bread when they want it. Why didn't you give him bread then? Why were you not organizing to help Jordan Neely overcome whatever problems he was having? Where was his daddy then? Oh, daddy just so hurt now. I'm just so hurt, I don't know what to do. I'm just hurt now. He's lying. Plain old lying. This is hell on earth. And it's all an act. You remember when they burned down America, tore down statues and monuments and everything, pretending they cared about some other black guy that was allegedly killed by cops or something? Somebody did something somewhere. They gathered a whole bunch of money. Where are those people now? They bought houses up in the white neighborhood. They bought houses in the hood. They went and bought homes, according to a report, in white neighborhoods. And the blacks never did see that money. But they burned down no justice, no peace, and collected buku money. And that female so-called lady that running for president, representing Democrat, I forgot her name, Camilla. She was like supporting it. When will you stop falling for the lie inside of you? Just think about it. When will you stop falling for the lie inside of yourself? Because when you stop falling for the lie inside yourself, you're going to stop falling for it outside of you, inside of others. You really will. But you got to work on you. There's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, deadbeat-dadism, Allah-u-Abba-ism, anti-Semitism, race, what else? White supremacism. No ism, those are just words. Really, they're just words. And they only mean something to you if you're subject to words, if you're subject to the world. When will you overcome words? Somebody can put a title behind their name. Oh, I'm Dr. George. I'm Dr. this. I'm lawyer this. I'm psychiatrist this. I'm counselor this. I'm governor this. I'm mayor this. I'm city councilor this. I'm bishop, pastor, reverend, whatever this. And you fall for it. Because it's a title. And that's all it is. It's just a title, a word. And the person put the word behind their name because they're lost. And they need something to make them feel as though they're found, and you worship them. You worship them. You're so dumb, you get in agreement with Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives Matter is an evil organization. People are no good, their hearts are wicked, and you fall for it. And they act like all black people in 2024. This is 2024, right? Yeah, still. And you act like it's 250 years ago. And what you don't know, 250 years ago was better then than it is now for the blacks, because the blacks were independent then. They thought and did for themselves. It's all a game being played on you. It's an act. It is not real. It's an illusion. Why don't you drop your anger so you can see what's going on in the world around you by seeing what's happening within you, men and women, all races, all financial status or whatever. Black Lives Matter. Oh, we need vigilante. And they feel so good at the mic saying that and getting the attention from the media. And that's why that woman went, oh, GD, those white people, they're Christmas. And GD America. and she walked away with 3 all over her. Just feeling ego out of control, and you agreed with it. Why not become an individual, be free? Why not drop your morals and come out of your prison? Thank you all very much for your support. Johnny is the first time call out of Texas. Johnny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how are you doing today?
All is well, Johnny.
Hey, I just kind of need your advice on something that I'm going through, and I can't really seem to talk to anybody about it 'cause it's pretty crazy. About 4 years ago, I was in a nearly fatal accident. I had a hollow point bullet blow up in a fire pit, and it hit me in my mouth, and I've had to get like 3 surgeries since then. And I've just completely lost all identity. Like, I'm doing really well in my life. Like, my finances are good. I'm living alone. I'm progressing in my life, but I just feel like I'm dead. Like, I feel like I'm a ghost, like of my former self. And like every time I reach out to people, it's like I see the devil come out of them. It's like they see that something happened to me and they just run with stories that they've made up. I've been, people say, well, why did you shoot yourself? Or people will say, well, if you weren't screwing around, somebody wouldn't have shot you. And it's like, I can't even live the truth of what's happened to me, let alone like live my life anymore. And I just don't know what I need to do to enjoy my life going forward.
And so your question for me is what?
What should I do? Like, how would you handle this situation? I really don't know what to do.
Number one, I would give no thought. Listen to the word thought. I would give no thought into what other people think about your situation.
Okay.
Zero thought. It's not really. It's abnormal. It's evil to give thoughts, any thought, one thought to what people think or say about you.
Okay.
And then secondly, as far as, did you say you feel like you know what? You felt like what?
I feel like before this happened to me, I had all this confidence and I was secure with myself.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not. I feel like I was supposed to die when that happened, and like when I didn't, I feel like I just don't feel whole anymore. Like I feel like.
What is the feeling of feel like you're supposed to die? I never heard of that feeling before.
I don't know. Maybe I've just never been through something traumatic like that, and when it happened in my mind, I kind of said, "Well, this is it for me," and I've signed off on like. Okay. In that moment, I signed off of any idea of a future. And now I'm still here.
You done wrong. One thing you're doing wrong, Johnny.
Yeah.
You listen to thoughts about that situation as well. That wasn't you that said that to you. There was the imagination, which is a lie. It said that to you. You thought you were saying it, and that's why you feel that way. Let the thought of that go too. It's all thoughts, man. And those thoughts are bringing on the feelings, which feel like life is over, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you, and without a doubt, you let the thoughts go, you'll be free. You're
right.
You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body.
Yeah.
And you're only into thoughts about it. That's all you're doing wrong. You believe thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. So I should just move forward and stop thinking about it. And really, it's just, I feel like when people ask me about it, and as soon as they figure out what happened, they immediately shut off and they don't even want to like associate with me because they build this story in their head about me.
And how do you know they built a story?
Well, maybe not everybody, but for like when I will tell people, they won't even ask me what happened. They will assume that I either shot myself or I was.
How do you know that?
Because they'll say, well, I've had people say, well, why did you shoot yourself? Or, and then I'll try to explain to them what happened, and it's almost like, no, this is too much. I don't want to hear it.
Johnny, hold on. Can you hold just? Let me take a quick break.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to go quickly back to Johnny. And Johnny had an accident, got shot in the mouth, and now he said that people are weird. Johnny.
Yeah.
How do you know people thinking those things about your accident?
Well, it's just mainly the people from my past. So let's say I haven't seen somebody in like 5 or 6 years, and I'll reach out to them. And when I like, this happened to me this happened to me like 4 weeks ago. I was invited to like a birthday party with some friends I hadn't seen in about 10 years. And instead of like asking me what happened to me, you could feel like the animosity. And it was just like, one of the girls was like, well, if you didn't shoot yourself, if you weren't depressed and you didn't shoot yourself in the face. And what I've noticed is that since there's been a time apart from me seeing these people and I've been through something, they take the things they feel internally and they just throw them onto me. It's like, oh, I was depressed, so he must have been depressed and did this to himself. And then another person will be like, oh, well, I had a rough past. He must have had a rough past and got into some trouble.
And do they say that?
Yeah, yes, people have said that. I've been told,
Johnny,
I've been asked.
Johnny, do they say that, or you're just thinking that's what they're thinking?
Well, a few of them have said this to me, and
Johnny,
so it made me believe
Johnny,
that more people. Yeah.
Do they say those things, or you think and feel those things yourself, and you think that's what they're thinking and feeling?
They have said those things, but it does definitely amplify me making up these thoughts in my head, definitely.
And why are you going along with thoughts and those feelings?
Well, maybe it's just because I don't want to be misunderstood, and it was a very like scary thing for me. And so when the misunderstanding comes, I do these mental like gymnastics as to like why am I?
What does that mean? I don't want to be misunderstood. Who's going to misunderstand you, and why would they misunderstand you about an accident?
Well, I feel like instead of people seeing that went through something traumatic that hurt me, they see it as in like, oh, I must have been up to no good.
But you all imagine that, man.
Maybe, yeah.
No,
I guess you're right.
Imagine that. Ain't no maybe
no, you're right.
in it.
You're right.
So you're in your head imagine what other people are thinking and feeling, and that might not be what they think and feel, period. They could be like, they could be feeling sorry for you, or they're uncomfortable, they don't know whether to look right at you or not, or you don't know what they're thinking. You're in your head imagining what they're thinking because you're worshiping the devil.
I'm not. I'm really not, because I did get baptized 4 years ago. And if anything, I feel like
you still listen to the devil in your head.
Oh, I thought you said I'm worshiping the devil.
You are.
I may be listening.
Anytime you listen to thoughts, you're worshiping the devil. Satan is your God. You believe him.
I don't. No, I believe in Jesus.
No, you don't. You don't believe in Jesus. If you believed in Jesus, you would not be believing in thoughts.
Yeah, then maybe I need to work on that.
Do you understand what I just said?
I do.
What did I say?
Stop letting thoughts dictate my life and stop listening to my own internal dialogue.
That's not what I said. That's a white way of saying it. I said, you don't believe in Jesus. If you believed in Jesus, you would not believe in thoughts, and you wouldn't listen to them.
Okay.
So you believe about Jesus. You don't believe in Jesus.
I believe in Jesus.
Well, only weak people believe in Jesus. Only people who are in prison by their morality believe in Jesus. People who are free know Jesus. They don't believe in him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to have peace and
you want to have
move
peace?
on from this.
You want peace?
Internal peace, yeah.
Drop your anger and stay away from thoughts. If you want peace, if you really want peace, Johnny, drop your anger and stay away from thoughts, and you'll have perfect peace.
Okay. Thank you.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Because you're believing the thoughts and you're thinking of what these people are thinking about you when they see you. You're assuming it, and now you're reacting in yourself, and you're blaming them for the way you're reacting, not realizing that all the mess that you feel is inside of you. It's in you because you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I just, and part of me just wish it's like kind of like a regret. Like I wish it never happened to me, and I don't. want to.
That happened to you is not your problem either. You're believing thoughts, Johnny.
Okay.
Johnny, you're believing the devil. You're worshiping evil. You're one with the imagination. You're one with Satan.
I'm going to stop, and I'm going to stop trying to listen to my thoughts as quick as possible because I don't want to worship Satan.
Stop right now.
All right, I will.
Have you stopped?
I have. Thank you.
Listen, are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I'm not.
You know about it?
Not really. I just started watching your show recently.
I want you to go. I recommend you go to rebuildingaman.com /prayer. Right there. Oh, rebuildingaman.com /prayer.
Correct.
Okay, and start doing that. Have you forgiven your mother?
I have, yeah.
You went and told her?
I have, yeah, because it was pretty. I mean, we had my whole family. We had kind of not the best relationship, but I have forgiven both of them, and I'm actually working with my family now. We opened our own business about 5 years ago, and I've been trying to.
Did you tell her you're sorry for resenting her?
Absolutely, yeah. And I told her that.
How about your father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Johnny, your only problem that you have, one problem. Two. One is you believe thoughts and you're emotional.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah. So now I know what to work on, and you're right.
It's not about those people out there. It's about your world in you. You are your world. And if you want peace in your world, you got to let go of thoughts.
Right. Okay.
Really?
I'll do that.
Drop the anger, drop the thoughts, and you'll be free. And no matter what happened, the accident that happened, you'll be fine. It's just your body, it's not you. You're not your body.
Yeah.
And if you run into evil people who are going to judge your situation, you forgive them. They're blind and they can't see. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't need to. You don't have to. But just don't be angry at them. They can't help themselves.
I understand.
Just like you can't help yourself being controlled by anger and by thoughts, the same thing is happening to them as well. They love their misery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Johnny, come out of your thoughts and you'll be free. You'll be fine.
I'm almost there.
You could be there right now if you stop believing thoughts.
All right. I'm going to work on that.
Let them pass. Let all thoughts pass and just live your life and you'll be fine. You have an amazing life.
Okay. I will definitely do that. Appreciate it, Jesse.
And don't blame anyone for what you feel. Those feelings are in you. They're not outside of you. And if they were not in you already, no one can make you feel anything. Because you can't feel something if you don't have it inside of you.
Right. Because I would be at peace at that point.
Perfect.
And it wouldn't affect me.
Right. And you wouldn't have, it wouldn't be, the spirit of those things would not be inside of you. All that emotion and worries and judgment and all that would be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Appreciate you, Jesse.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Let me go to Jay out of Los Angeles. Jay, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, how's it going, man?
All is well, Jay.
Awesome. So I wanted to talk to you because we've spoken in the past, and I took your advice, went and forgave my mom. That was really difficult for me to do. And I forgave my dad, too. For my dad, it was easier. I felt like I wanted to forgive him first because I felt like you said, I was, needing my dad in my life. And so I wanted to talk to him first and just, tell him, because I wanted to tell him also that, I recognize what my mom did and I want to go to her. And, I kind of just wanted to get his feedback on that as well. And so I went to my mom. I got the closure that I needed. Anyway, since then, me and my dad are great. One thing about my dad, he was training basketball most of my life growing up when I was a kid. And he wasn't really around a lot because of that. He was training basketball at the country and stuff like that. And he would send money back to my mom. But then my mom would always say she didn't get the money, even though my grandma would tell me she got like receipts and all this stuff. And so anyway, long story short, me and my dad are cool now. I'm helping my dad with his basketball stuff. But I'm more on like the content side because I'm helping him push his stuff out there. And I'm trying to help him set up a Patreon. He's doing pretty good on Instagram, so I'm trying to get him like,
so what's the problem?
Establishing stuff.
Because of time, what's the problem?
Right.
What's the question?
So my stepbrother, right? He plays basketball, and my dad's posting all this content, and some of it is like, oh, father-son type stuff, because it's just weird to me, and I don't know should I approach him about that, or should I just let it be? It's kind of weird, though.
Your father posted stuff about his stepson?
Yeah, because he coaches my stepbrother also, and like when they do interviews and stuff, he's saying like it's his father's son, and it just makes me feel really weird.
You jealous?
And I don't know if that's just me and my thoughts.
You feel jealous?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
Right. And why are you jealous?
Because I kind of feel like my dad always wanted me to play basketball, and I never had an interest in it. And so I feel like, I don't know, it just kind of affects me that he's trying to make this connection with this kid around basketball, and me and him are just working on our connection. But I don't know, it's just weird. My dad's adopted a lot of kids too. I feel like my dad's been trying to compensate for a long time because he hasn't been able to see his kids.
But your problem is not your father. Your father has his own problem, but your problem, you're jealous. And that's what happens when parents, whether it's the father or the mother, bring other people into their lives and pretend that it's their children and blah, blah, blah. It will bring on jealousy to the natural born children. And so you're feeling that way. Why don't you tell him?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if I should just tell. I mean, we've pretty much had this relationship where we've been pretty open since I've talked to him and addressed him on the things that I was resenting him for. And again, I don't want it to be something where I resent him. So maybe, I just need to be a man, just be like, hey, it's kind of weird that you have another guy that's not even your son calling you dad. Or
but it's not weird that he's doing that. What's weird is that you're jealous of it. You're feeling the jealousy of it. That's why it seemed weird. And you're using the word weird because you can't say you're jealous.
Right. Well, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. It just feels not natural, and
But it's only feeling not natural to you because you're jealous.
Right.
And it's not natural to do it. You're right. Your father might be trying to fulfill the void or something of not having you there, and teaching you basketball, and he's trying to get that father thrill. All that is weird and should not be happening, but that's all he knows right now. And here's what I would recommend: one-on-one, sit down with him and just say, you know what, I'm wrong, but I feel jealous that you're giving all this attention to your stepson, and you're calling him son, and you're so proud of him, and you're not proud of me, and because I didn't do it the way you wanted, and be done with it, let it pass.
Right.
How old are you now?
Right. I'm 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let it pass and understand that your father's trying to fulfill a void that's in him as well.
Right. And I recognize that. You're right. So you think just talk to him and just be direct with him and don't feel like, because that's part of being a man, right? You need to be able to let somebody know.
It's not part of being a man. It's part of being of love. Love is going to him and forgiving him and letting him know how you feel, but and not judging him.
Right. Should I make it like a serious thing, or should I just be like, just kind of say it in passing kind of thing? It should be something like sit down, or like I'm not trying to.
What's a serious thing? What's a serious thing? What do you mean by serious?
Like, should I sit down with him and be like, hey, I just want to talk to you about something that's really bothering me? Or should I just be like, hey, stop posting that stuff. It's kind of weird, or like, it just makes me feel kind of weird. You know, it makes me feel some kind of way every time I see you calling Sean your son. Like, I get it because he didn't grow up with a dad, and so I don't know if he's doing that for him, but it's also not good for him because he should have a relationship with his dad and not be calling another man dad, father.
But that's not your business.
Right.
You're just jealous.
Right. But it's also affecting the way that I look at my dad, and I'm starting to resent him because I am trying to grow as a man. I feel like it's kind of beta to watch that of your dad.
So
I don't want to be my dad like that.
You're watching your father call a stepson son and teaching him to play ball and posting it online and being all proud, right?
Right.
But that's your jealousy inside of you.
Right. Right.
Right, what? Right.
It's my thoughts. You're right. It's all my thoughts. And,
it's all you. It has nothing to do with your father.
Right. Okay. So I'll just go to him and I'll just be like, hey, I'm jealous. I'm wrong.
I'm sorry?
So just tell him, like, you know, I'm wrong for feeling jealous about this, but this is just like something that has been really bothering me.
Yeah, you say, you know what, Dad, I feel, whatever you call him, I feel jealous that you're giving this boy the attention I should have gotten as a kid. But I realize I'm wrong, so I'm sorry for doing that. I'm wrong for this. Because it's all in you, and it has nothing to do with your father. It's all in you. Your father doing what he's doing to try to have peace. It's not going to work, but he's trying to find peace because he can't find peace that way. But your issues are in you. You're jealous that your father is giving a stranger, not his son, the kind of attention you did not get from him.
Exactly.
So that's in you. It's not in your father. It's in you. And it's not weird. It's you being jealous. And don't call it weird. It's your jealousy. And jealousy is anger. It's judgment.
Right. Because if I'm calling it weird, then I'm judging him. So I should just tell him, like, it's making me jealous. Right?
If you're calling it weird, you're covering it up, your anger.
Right. That makes sense.
Do you understand, though, it's you, it's not your father? Your father has his own problems, I'm sure, but it's you. You're having a problem. It's in your mind.
Yeah, exactly, because he's not doing it to be malicious or to hurt me. It's me that's making this up in my head.
Yeah. Satan's telling you, Satan said, oh, look how he treated that boy the way he wanted you to be. And that boy is listening to him. And now they're son and daddy. And look at you. You never got that from him. He never did anything like that for you. Oh, he posting it. And you're like, yeah, say, you're right.
Yeah, that's the dialogue. That is the dialogue in my head. I'm not even gonna lie. That is what I think. Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's what you call insanity.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna talk to him today. I'm gonna let him know. You know, I've been jealous about this, and they keep seeing he's posting.
Yeah, and stop listening to thoughts, man. Those are your enemy. Hake is saying that. What did you say about the word weird?
Weird is what a woman says when she's judging the man, the father, for that weakness or that strangeness. It's a judgment word. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
you're right. I'm judging him. Yeah, you're right. I'm being a beta. You're right. I'm gonna talk to him today, and I'm just let him know, hey, I was feeling jealous about this. I'm wrong for that. I just got to get it off my chest. And
absolutely.
Keep pushing. Cool. All right.
That's all you need to do is say, you know what? Dad, I've been feeling jealous the way you treat this boy. You treat that boy the way I want it. You wanted to treat me, and I didn't let it happen, or whatever happened. And I feel jealous, and I'm wrong about that. Your father will understand that.
Okay. I'm going to talk to him today, then. I appreciate it, Jesse.
Let me know how it goes.
All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy. ABDI, a first-time caller out of Canada. ABDI, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Okay, hey sir. I wanted to talk about my experience with forgiving my mother.
Okay.
With you. So I remember watching back in 2016. I think it was on the Fallen State. This feminist YouTuber, atheist woman was debating you, and the only reason I watched you was because I used to kind of look up to her. Because I identified as an atheist as well. But I remember you saying something like, I discriminate all the time. And I remember catching that and hating you for it. And saying, how is this guy successful? But he discriminates all the time. And something in me told me, look at this guy. He's a grown man. And he's just making fun, right? But I didn't listen to that. But something told me to hold on to it. So fast track 2020, I started watching you again, and I was in a bad time. Well, I moved out of my mom's house at the time, and I started watching you, and I started... So I started thinking to myself, I was thinking to myself, okay, so I'll watch the guy again because in me something told me I should give. All right. Something told me I should hear everybody out, and that's something I believed in. So sorry. So I heard you out, and I had a question for you, and you answered it in your videos. I asked myself, why do I have fear? Why do I sorry. So you answered the question. You said to go and forgive your mother, but there was no way in hell I wanted to go back. But to go back to my mother, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't do it, right? So I thought about I'd rather I didn't want to. Basically, I didn't want to go back to my mother and just forgive her, right? So I didn't do it, and so devil kind of convinced me maybe I should just take my own life. So anyways, what happened next? Okay, so I found myself in the middle of the woods. It was pitch dark. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anybody, and there was two roads, okay? So there was two roads for me to take, and there was one that was a quick reaction, and I just seen darkness, right? It was a quick reaction. I seen darkness, and I seen my mom. And it was a very quick reaction. And there was another one that was kind of longer, and I had to endure. That was the one thing that I remember. I had to endure it. So I didn't go to the quick one and the dark one because I saw my mom, and I don't want to do that. But it was so easy to do it, right? And it was just a quick getaway, and it was like no fault of my own. I didn't do it, right? But I didn't take it. For some reason, I didn't take it. I just knew something quick like that was too good to be true, so I didn't do it. So I took the longer route, right? And I looked up, and I saw the stars, right? So I knew there was a little bit of light, so I could see at least where my foot was going. Anyway, so I fell in this pit. I got back up. I didn't get mauled by animals because I can hear animals. So I got back up, and I seen a sign that 1 kilometer this way to some road. I took it, and just when I got to the sidewalk, I looked up, and I looked at the stars, and I realized maybe there's a way that I could be free. So anyways, I went back, and I finally took your advice, And I said, okay, I got to forgive my mom because it's the only thing I know that somebody said that this is how you get rid of fear. So I went and forgave my mom. I went to bed, and for the first time in my life, I didn't face the door to guard against my mom coming in. I turned my back like I used to when I was a kid. And when I turned my back away from the door, it felt like I gave up. And I gave everything to somebody else, right? Now I know it was God. I gave it to God. So I turned my back, and I see this dark spirit ram through, come down towards me. And just think of just a typical ghost, right? You see a ghost, it doesn't have legs, it's floating, and it's white, right? But this one was black. Well, so just think of a black, dark figure ghost coming towards me, right?
Yeah.
So it was coming towards me, and it wasn't my body. I can see behind me, but my body was turned, so you can only see my hair, right? The back of my head. But for the first time in my life, I can see behind me, and I saw that I was not my body. And I could see this thing coming at me. There was nothing I can do but watch it. So I watched it coming at me. I was present in the moment, and a white figure smacked it away. It smacked it away, and I was back into my body again. And I realized that there's something else going on in this world that's not physical, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything is every encounter you're having a spiritual encounter first, and then it comes back to the physical. So when I understood that, I realized I had to go and forgive my mom. So I don't know if I did forgive her first or that occurred afterwards, right? I get it mixed up now because it's been like 2 years now. And sorry, I've never been this emotional before, right? After I called you, this is the first time I'm calling you. So it's like this emotion came back up, but I'm trying to watch it.
Right on. Yeah, just watch it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, for the first time in my life, I got a job, and I started interacting with people, and I can see that my coworkers are possessed, right? I can see that they're not my friend.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't get too comfortable with them. I shouldn't get too close. And I seen that, and all of a sudden, Jesse, something happened to me where there was this light bulb around me, and nobody in the world can touch me. I realized that because the light was around me, but there was something else still in me, and I believe it's the ego now because it turned that away from me from now. But it told me, I should tell them about this light, and I overreacted to that, and the light was kind of taken away from me. But I know it's still with me. I just don't see it now, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to kind of get off my chest.
Amazing.
But, yeah.
So when you first thought about taking your life, did you try to take your life?
Yeah, I actually did plan it pretty well.
What'd you do?
I don't want to say what the steps I took because I don't want to put it out there like that.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Private if you want.
Okay.
But, anyways, so I went through it. I went on a walk. I wanted to go somewhere in the woods, basically. This wasn't the first the after encounter before I forgave my mom. This was way before.
Right.
So I went to the woods. I wanted to go into the woods, but I was so broke that I couldn't get there, right? and I couldn't get there, but I can still do it close to my house. But I didn't want to do that, right? Because it wasn't part of my plan. And it was like something told me, and I believe it was God, that I should just keep holding on, just go through this for now, and just keep holding on. I listened to that.
How old are you now?
I'm 29 now. This was around when I was like 23, 25.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, you stay with it. Stay on that road that leads to perfect peace. You stay on it. Stay with it, and it only get clearer, and it's going to be amazing for you. But stay with it.
Yeah, it has been amazing, and it's been amazing so far. And I can see that this world belongs to us, but you just not identify with the world.
Absolutely, 100%. Amazing.
And I love your Sunday services as well recently. Those are very, very interesting conversations you guys had.
Thank you. Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, man. Anything else?
No, that was about it. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with the silent prayer. I know that's the way to connect with God, and I know there's a wall of thoughts in front of it,
Yes.
and you just have to get through that.
Absolutely. Go all the way through hell to get to heaven. You stay with it. You stay with it. You stay with it, man. It's amazing testimony. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir, and have a good day.
You too. Call me again.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Amazing. For those who want to be free, you can be free. Or you can stay in your misery. Really. You can live in your hell. But you just heard a witness to overcoming. Amazing. 888-7753-773. That was mind-blowing and true. You can overcome evil if you want to. And most people don't want to. Just know that. And you'll be in the world, but not of it. Amazing story. Let me go to Brian, a first-time caller out of New Orleans. Let's see here. Brian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, Jeff. How you doing this morning, bro?
All is well, Brian. Thanks for calling.
Okay. I need you to revert on some of your comments that I heard you say on some of your shows.
You need what now?
Such as
you need me to do what?
I need you to revert your comments because I'm about to tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm one of the ones that came up with both parents in the home.
Okay.
I came up under them, my mother and my daddy, until he died of cancer. He got real sick, but he worked for 20 years, and he showed out. He worked hard and brought us up the right way.
Right on.
So,
how old are you now?
I heard you say, hold up, wait, let me finish. So for that reason, he done brought us all up the right way, and we never caused any trouble. And this is between two black people now. My mom and dad stayed together until my daddy died. Now you say a bunch of times I heard you say that most people came up in broken homes. That is not true. That is not true. It's either or. Something happened to the parents, or something happened to the mama or the daddy. That's how they become broken. Are you with me?
Yeah, and your question is what?
I need you to stop saying that that black people are coming up in broken homes.
But they are.
They're not. I just told you I wasn't.
How old are you?
How old are you?
I thought I was 74, but I just found out the other day I'm 75.
And I'm 51.
51. Well, maybe.
And I'm 51, and I'm a hard-working black person too.
You say you were 51 or 61?
I said 51. You heard what I said.
But in the good old days, black men and women, there were two parents, for the most part, two parents.
Hold on, wait. Why I gotta be black? You black too, ain't you?
You're not black.
You not black?
But no, are you black?
Are you black?
No, are you black? I thought you said you were black.
I thought you said you were black. What? Does it make a difference?
Does what make a difference?
Me being black or white?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if you're white, you're right. If you're black...
Hold on, wait.
If you're black,
white is not always right, and black is not always right. Get it out your head, brother.
But let me tell you this.
Either race is not right at times.
Let me tell you this. Do you love white people?
I'm not even going to answer that.
Why not?
I don't. Well, I don't like. No, I don't love nobody that don't love me. I'm gonna put it to you like that.
Do you love white people?
I love anybody. I love anybody who love me. That go for anybody.
Do you love white people?
That go for anybody. You heard me? Anybody.
Do you love white people?
What I just said?
Are you a Christian?
What the fuck I just said?
Hey, you can't be cussing on the air. What the?
Then why you keep asking me the same damn question?
Look,
I said anybody.
I'm trying not to hang up on you, but if you curse,
I said anybody. Man, you're a fucking joke, boy. You're a fucking joke.
I thought you said your parents raised you right. Your parents didn't raise you right. What the? Oh, he hung up. He hung up. Ain't no use in praying for him no more. He gone. What the? Oh, amazing. Let me go to a first-time caller out of the United Kingdom. Mark. Mark, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Mark.
Hi. My question to you is how do I get rid of these the devil that's inside me, these thoughts that I'm having? I've suffered many years. I've made 4 suicide attempts. I've been in mental hospital 3 times, 3 or 4 times, and I was on medication and it didn't help. I couldn't sleep. I took to alcohol, and that kind of eased it a bit. But I became more unwell, and it's only since I've been watching you, and about 6 months that things are working. But I do the things that you've said. Stay in the present. Look after basic things. But the thoughts are still troubling me.
Have you? How old are you now, Mark?
I'm 54.
Oh, okay. And when you said you tried to commit suicide 4 times, did you say 4 times?
Yes.
And why did you try to do that?
Okay, it's a long story. A number of things happened. I think I've always been troubled from an early age.
Yeah.
But things got to a head, and I told my parents I didn't want to know them anymore, and I wanted to be on my own. But they keep harassing me. And they won't let things go. They think I've ruined their life. I say that they've ruined my life.
Yeah.
I say I don't want anything more to do with them. I have forgiven them, like you said, but they got mad, even more mad. My mother has since passed away. She's gone about 5 years, and my dad. She is, and my dad is quite desperate now, and he's still looking for me. He doesn't know where I am. I don't want him to know, and I don't want anything to do with him. I don't want to have anything to do with anyone, really. I was married, had 2 children, and she's divorced me now because of various things. I think mainly because of my parents harassing her, really. And they won't let, my dad won't let things go. But I'm okay. I'm living on my own, and I've got things sorted for myself. I'm not working. I was working. I was quite successful, but but my main problem is this rage that I get where I actually do shout to myself, not to anyone. In public, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I don't get angry, but I get angry at myself, at the past. I try, like you said, to forget about the past, to just stay in the present. I do, but these thoughts keep coming back, keep haunting me.
Right.
And I know that. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
And you know what?
I know that these thoughts are from the devil that's inside me.
Yes.
And I want to get rid of it. And your advice, I've taken it on, and it's good advice. It's really good advice. It's the only thing that's helped. The medication hasn't helped. Psychiatry hasn't helped. Nothing's helped. I've tried various things, and I'm now off alcohol. I've stopped smoking completely. I don't have anything to do with women, or I was into gambling in a big way. I've stopped that as well. So I lead a very very clean life in many ways, and I try to just take each day as it comes, like you say. But these things, these thoughts, they just don't let go.
Right on. So let me ask, who are you?
How do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't.
So I know your name is your name is Mark, but who are you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm a lost soul, basically. That's what I am.
Right on. Here's what I want you to do, and if you do this, Mark, it will work. You'll be fine. You'll really be fine. Number one, never, ever, 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 ever again identify with thoughts. You are not your thoughts. They are not from you, and they are not from God. They are pure evil, and they are just thoughts. They have no power. They have no nothing except you believe them. You identify with them. Stop identifying with thoughts. Don't call them you ever again. When the thought of loneliness come, or the thought to resent your father, or the thought of anger, whatever, just notice it, do nothing about it, and it will be taken away from you. Do not call it you ever again. You're not your thoughts.
Yes.
That makes sense?
That makes sense, yes.
And so these thoughts that are trying to make you destroy yourself, they can only work if you believe them. So just watch them. Don't try to get rid of them. Don't reach outside for anything to help you overcome it, because you can't overcome like that. You just have to see them, but do not call them you. Don't identify with any thoughts at all. And then do the silent prayer and just practice staying present, rather than being lost in your head thinking about the past or future, which does not exist. And you'll be fine. They will be taken away from you as long as you don't identify with any thoughts, any ideas ever again. You'll be fine.
Okay, yes.
That makes sense?
That makes sense, yes.
And so what did you get from what I just said?
That I shouldn't identify with those thoughts.
Right.
Of me.
That's right. Don't call them you. You just need to see them. And that's why the last thing evil want is for you to see them. They don't want you to see them because they're evil. And that's why they try to make you think about the past or the future, which is time. And God is not in time. The truth is not a part of time. The truth is always right here, right now, is always present. But Satan lives in time, and he's constantly trying to make you think about what has happened, or what's going to happen, or what you have done, or what tomorrow going to be better. Just let that pass, and you stay present. And I promise you, Mark, You'll be fine. You just need to stop identifying with thoughts. Do not call them you.
Yes. Yes.
And as far as your
You're right.
father, if you don't want anything to do with him, that's fine. Just don't resent him. He cannot help himself. And you go and live your life. You don't have to, you don't owe him anything except to love him. And the way you love him is just by forgiving him. Don't be angry at him. It doesn't mean you got to hang out with him.
Yes. No, I don't want to hang out with him at all.
Right, but just
No,
don't be angry at him. He can't help himself.
Yes. No. That's the main thing. Is the anger that I have about him, about my mom, and about my other family members, extended family members. All of them actually. I've disowned everyone.
Right on.
Really.
But just don't be angry at them, all right? You want to stay away from anger because anger is evil. And anyone that has anger is evil. And so you just watch that, and it's a spirit, and those spirits will be taken away.
Yes.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I am. I'm doing it every day.
Right on. You stay with it.
Yes, and it does help. It does help, but it helps only temporarily.
Only because you go unconscious. You still go into an unconscious state. You go into your thoughts and you're not realizing that you're in the thoughts. But as long as you stay present, the world can't touch you. The thoughts can't touch you. Your enemies can't touch you because you're present with what is right. You're present with God. So you need to catch those thoughts. When you in a thought, just realize you're in a thought, and now you're having these emotions that come with thought, and just realize you're in a thought and become present again. Be aware of your body, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Yes, I will. I'll do that.
Amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. You're amazing. I like most of the things. I like the things you say about no racism doesn't exist, and other things don't exist, and about the thoughts and the silent prayer and everything. It's all good. It all makes complete sense. It's just me. It's me.
Well,
it's the devil in me.
Yes, it's not you at all. It's just that you, because of all the stuff you went through as a kid, all the hell your parents and others put you through, you identify with those thoughts. You escaped into them. But now it's time to stop identifying with them, and you're going to see when all those thoughts disappear, and they will, if you stay with it, the real you will appear, and it's going to be amazing for you.
Yes. Yes, thanks. I find that the less I have to do with other people, the better I am.
Absolutely.
So that's why I stay on my own now.
Right on.
As much as I can, as much as practically possible.
Absolutely. And the people are evil, they can't help it. Just as you're overcoming the evil, most people are not going to overcome evil because they love their misery. They love being evil. But you will, and you will be in the world, but not of it. You will have perfect peace.
Yes, that's what I want. Perfect peace. And I don't have it. I don't have it.
And you will when you stop identifying, when you drop the anger and stop identifying with thoughts, you will have perfect peace.
Yes, I hope so. Thanks.
You will. Stay with it, all right?
Okay, thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas, and call me again.
Thanks, I will. And one day, I hope to come to Los Angeles and to your bond and
right on
and see you. Yes,
right on.
I do. One day I will do that.
Amazing. You're welcome.
Thanks.
All right, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. Lucas is a first-time caller out of Oregon. Lucas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Lucas.
Firstly, just thank you so much for what you do. I've been listening for about 3 months, and since then I've forgiven my parents and let go of as much anger as I can, a tremendous amount of it. So
Right
thanks.
on.
My question is, even though I do the silent prayer once a day, sometimes twice, as much as I can, I've been haunted by something I just can't let go of for probably 7 or 8 years, and it's really kind of, it takes up a lot of my mind and my time.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep that clear because I'm in school. I'm not sure quite what to do about it. About 9 years ago, I was teaching, and I met somebody. We had a whirlwind romance. It was nice, but I was a real beta. Had a lot of problems. And I was smoking pot.
Pothead!
Quit since. By the way, thanks for that. I quit 3 months ago.
Right on.
Letting go of a lot of my problems. Yeah, things have been better. But anyway, she's living in another country, and she even came to visit for a couple of weeks once. But after that, I broke up with her, and she said, okay, but don't contact me anymore because I can't, be held down by this. I don't want to be reminded of us. But I just get nervous. I think about her every day. It's the best relationship I've ever had, and I miss her. And maybe if she'd broken up with me, it wouldn't be so hard to move on. But I pulled the trigger because I was in my own hell, and I wasn't strong enough to keep us together. And I had a lot of doubt too. I never had a relationship like that before. I didn't know what I had. And so, anyway, I've been having an urge to reconnect with her again, but I think that's wrong. To reach out or ask her how she's doing, or, I've heard from mutual friends that she's moved on, but it really gets in my head. I've dated other people since, but I have trouble doing that. And right now it's final exam time. I'm having trouble focusing on my work, which is already hard for me. Should I reach out? And just because I'm always worried about her, but I just need to be free of this.
All you need to do is let the thoughts go, because you're just having memories about her. It's just a thought. It's not real. The relationship is over. What happened back then happened then. It doesn't exist anymore. You're just holding on to memories, and you're getting these emotions from them, the memories, and you're thinking that it's real. If you got back with her now, she will destroy you. All you're just having thoughts. The thoughts are just a thought. They're not even real. And you're thinking that it's real because you're having a thought about it. But it's just a thought. It's not real. It's over. All you have is right now. So live your life right now and let the memories go. It's just memories. It's not real.
Yeah. I get advice like that sometimes, but I think it helps to hear it from you. And I also just get scared I won't find somebody that feels as good to be with in a relationship again.
But you need to stop looking for somebody to make you feel good. That's a drug. And you need to be feeling free without anyone or anything. All you're doing is looking for people to do what drugs do to make you feel good, but the problem's still there. And a feel-good feeling is not freedom. You got to overcome your imagination. You got to forgive so your heart can be of love and not anger. You got to work on you now. Seek first the kingdom of God in his right way. Seek the truth, and you'll be fine. But you don't bring another person in to try to make you feel better. That's going to make you worse. It's not saving you from you.
All right. Yeah, I've been working on myself a lot, and it's been going well.
Did you forgive
your mother? I really need to not think about this. I did, even though she's still like both my parents are highly educated, and she likes to argue, and she also likes to be wrong. So I just let it go.
Yeah, don't even deal with her. Forgive her and move on. You don't argue with her. Don't try to prove anything with her. You move on with your life. Just don't resent her. But you got to be done with the devil inside of your mind and inside of other people, including your mother.
Yeah, the devil, about my old relationship, that's a powerful tool he has to mess with me.
Yeah.
And, also, since listening to you, though, it really has shrank the version of my mother that lives in my head.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to handle now. And when she starts saying crazy things or things, I can show her data, I can prove her wrong, but that's not the point. She just wants to argue, and it seems much smaller, and I just say no.
Nice.
No, I'll call you later.
She get a thrill from arguing with you because two devils are arguing. Stop arguing. Never try to prove anything to anyone, and never argue with the devil in your mind and the devil in other people. Stop arguing and live your life.
Yeah. I'll do that in my personal life. I am in school to argue professionally, though, so I'm going to have to do that sometimes. But
well, you can argue consciously, be aware of yourself arguing, not lost in your head arguing, right? When you're doing debates and when you're doing that, stay conscious, arguing, being present, you'll be fine because you're not identifying with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I don't think I will call her. I think that might just upset my ex. Might just upset her, and we're very far away.
Be done with that woman, man. It's just memories. Let the memories go. They're not real. You're holding on to an illusion. What happened then. It's over. Let the thoughts go. All right.
Yeah. I think I'm just afraid of moving forward. Dating's hard, man.
No, you shouldn't. Don't worry about dating. You worried about overcoming your fallen state, and you'll be fine. And God will put the right woman in your life if it's meant to be, and you will have a relationship that will last until death do you part. You won't even have to work at it. It will happen naturally.
Okay. I'll practice keeping more faith.
Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, don't practice keeping faith. You practice staying out of thoughts. Stay present rather than being in thoughts.
All right. Yeah, I will.
All right, brother. Let me know how it goes. Amazing.
Thank you, Jesse. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddy. I've said this before, is that there is zero love in the world today. And there's zero love. No love. And it's destroying human beings because human beings have no love. Have you paid attention to what's happening in you and around you? There's nothing but hate, nothing but anger, no love. It is hell on earth. And because there is no love, there is nothing but trouble. There's trouble in the land, nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble and unhappiness and fear and doubt and worry and loneliness, suicidal thoughts, depression, vengeance. Everybody want revenge, gossiping, no love, nothing but hate. And the one thing, and then we mentioned this before, but the two things that God demanded that we do, if we want to be free, is that we must love one another, even our enemies, and that we must forgive. And the last thing human beings do and want to do is forgive. Not understanding that forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven within. Because there is no other way. Unless you forgive, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. Before you forgive, before you enter in, you must go and forgive. You're not going to enter into the kingdom in your darkness. And unforgiveness is darkness. And the last thing human beings want to do is forgive. I'm not going to forgive you. What are you talking about? They judge with their mind. thoughts, their eyes, their words, their gestures, their emotions. And I challenge you to look up and down the earth. Finding a person who has truly forgiven is like looking for a saved person. They will not, ain't not going to forgive. Even though in Matthew 6:14, it's in the word, if we forgive the failures of others, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. You're not going to be forgiven until you forgive. If we forgive the failures of others, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you don't forgive others, your Father will not forgive you, forgive your failures. It ain't going to happen. You're locked into hell. You're locked into a miserable life. And there are people who are starting to hear the message of forgiveness, and they're starting to do it, and their lives are starting to change. You hear it all the time here. They are starting to forgive mama and daddy. I was talking to a young lady yesterday in counseling, and she was talking about how in the South you were trained to honor your parents, meaning that you have to take care of them, you have to bring them to live with you if they're sick and out of it, and blah, blah, blah. Even though they don't want to do it, it's like honor your parents. That's not honoring your parents, folks. Honor your parents meaning don't resent them. Forgive them. They could not help themselves. They know not what to do. What they do, they did not have love to raise you with. They were blind and could not see. And that's what it means. It doesn't mean you're obligated to them at all. Because feeling obligated to anyone or anything is not love. You're doing it out of guilt, and guilt is not love. But if you had forgiveness, if you had love, you will help if you want to help. If you don't help, you're fine. If you do, you're fine. And that's what love is. So there's no love on earth. In families, in relationships, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, relationship, co-workers, family, father, son, mother, daughter, mother, son. There's no love. Nothing but control. You can always tell when a person don't have love. They're trying to control you. They go out of their way to try to make you be and do what they want you to be and do. And they get angry, and they want to fight if you don't do it. But you got to forgive if you want to be forgiven. If not, stay in your hell. Stay in your misery. You can read the Bible till the cows come home. You can lift up holy hands and shout until the moon drops or until hell freezes over, and you're still going to be right in your hell because you refuse to forgive. You refuse to stop judging. You refuse to drop your anger. And I've said over and over and over again, I've said over and over and over and over again, and again and again, there's never, ever, I want you to really think about it. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. I want you to really think about this. There's never, ever, but never, 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 never a reason to be angry. And people say, well, what about if something happened to your child? That's not a reason to be angry. Well, what about this and what about that? They're in hell talking about whatabouts. If there's never, ever, ever a reason to be angry, why are you doing whatabouts? Why not just say, oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I like that. There's never, I don't care what situation happens out there, inside of you outside. There's never, ever, ever a reason to be angry. An angry person is a lost person. An angry person is an evil person. An angry person loves misery. The up and down feeling of misery. They call the up feeling is a miserable feeling too, by the way. That's why it doesn't last. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Let me go to ALEK out of Florida. ALEK,
hey, Jesse.
Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How's it going?
All is well.
So I had a question for you. Can I tell you like a quick story so the question will make a little more sense?
Okay.
So basically, yeah, I like grew up like without like religion. So, you know, I get older, whatever. I kind of turn into a mess person living in the world, drinking, smoking. And then I randomly came across your show, was like, oh, this is interesting. And then like just basically started doing the silent prayer and then like found God one day and then moved to Florida to like restart my life as like a Christian and just, you know, started trying to like learn from God because I don't know, I didn't really know what I was doing or how to be a Christian. And it was like amazing and all this stuff. And then so basically everything's good. And then I meet this girl at church and then like I thought like, oh, like this girl reads at the church, so she's going to be like good or whatever. So I'll be like safe because like I wasn't speaking to women for like almost like 2 years because I don't know. I mean, basically like I just didn't want to like accidentally, well, not accidentally, but be like tempted to like sleep with one or something.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this one will be safe. You know, she reads at the church and then basically we go out for the first time and then she just like pretty much tries to like sleep with me. So I like say no, whatever, and I go and I meet with my priest. I'm like, oh, this, you know, I met this girl. She's nice and everything, but she tried to do this, and he's like, oh, well, don't do it. Tell her that you can't do it. Just sit her down. So I sit her down, tell her, I'm like, oh, we can't mess around or anything. We just gotta get to know each other. And she says, oh no, I'm not doing that. and then I was like, okay. And then so I keep talking to her because I'm too weak, and she was like hot or whatever. And then. And then one day I like started to have sex with her, but then I stopped because I felt guilty. And then, yeah, so basically that's what happened. And then my question is, so I heard you say basically like once you like forgive and you know become a Christian or whatever, you're not supposed to sin anymore. So like. Am I like still messed up since I like still sinned and like you know what I'm saying by that? Like
yeah, I understand. Can you hold for me?
Yeah, for sure.
Let me take a quick break. 888-77-JESSE. I want to go back to ALEK out of Florida. I had to put ALEK on hold because of time. ALEK, so your question for me is what?
Basically, yeah. If you remember, like, am I still like messed up since I like sinned? And yeah, I heard you say like basically, you know, once you're like a new person, you shouldn't be, you know, living the old way anymore.
And your question: are you still messed up?
Yeah, basically.
Because you what?
Well, because I had sex out of wedlock, even though I knew it was wrong. Well, I mean, I stopped, but it did, you know, it still counts.
Are you calling that a sin?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It says in the Bible you're not supposed to have sex out of wedlock, so I thought it was a sin.
Where in the Bible does it say you're not supposed to have sex out of wedlock?
when it talks about like the area, I mean, I don't know the whole Bible yet. I only been Christian for a little bit, but I probably never will. It's a pretty long book, but like, I don't know. I remember, I think in like Matthew or somewhere, like Jesus is talking about sexual sin, and he's saying like, don't sexually sin, don't like be like an adulterer, don't, have sex out of, I don't know, like just talking about all the different sexual sins. I mean, I don't really know what they are.
But Jesus never called it sexual sin. Where'd you get that idea?
Who never called it that?
Jesus.
Oh, well, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong part. I don't know. I feel like I remember reading that at some point.
And where?
In the Bible. I don't know which part. I mean, I could be like I'm not claiming to be right. I just, I thought it's a sin to have sex out of wedlock, but maybe I'm wrong.
You should not have sex out of wedlock, because the right way is to be married in case you make children, so that they will have a father and a mother. And sex should not be used as a drug. God made it possible to have sex, but because people use it as a mean of escaping rather than overcoming, that's where the problem is. But they use it the way they use drugs, to feel good, to feel a false sense of love. And that's where the problem is. But the sex itself is not a sin. It's the way you use it in order to forget and not to remember. It's only supposed to be for making babies.
Okay, so that's why you're supposed to be married, since it's just supposed to be for babies.
Yeah, if you don't want to make children, there's no reason to even get married.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's not a sin.
Okay. All right, so, maybe... Well,
you're only guilty of one sin.
What's that?
Unforgiveness. Salvation is of the heart. And all who have anger have hatred. And anyone who has hatred play God. And when you play God, you think you know what you want. You think you know what you need. You judge yourself and other people. So you're playing God. And until the heart change, you're never going to know God. Satan will be your God. But salvation is of the heart. Have you dropped your anger?
Yeah. That's actually how when God revealed himself to me, I listened to your show because, like I said, I was just living in the world, and then I heard you say like, oh, go and forgive people. So then I was living in Ohio at the time, and my parents lived in Florida, so I sat them down and I was like, hey, I know this is probably going to seem random, but I'm becoming like a Christian, so I just wanted to let you guys know, I forgive you guys. I love you guys for, all the stuff that happened. And, that's that basically. And they were all surprised, and my mom was crying and all this stuff.
What was she crying for?
Because she was like sad that, she felt like she did a bad job, and I like hated her and stuff. And
you did hate her, and she did do a bad job.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I did kind of hate her. And yeah, she did kind of mess up a little bit. But, and then basically I laid down in bed that night. I didn't even know what was happening. And then basically God revealed himself to me. And then I pretty much started following him ever since. And I've just been learning from him ever since that day. Really, it's pretty crazy. And like my old friends ask me like, well, what's that like and stuff? I'm like, I don't know. I can't really describe it because it's like, it's just different than anything else. It's fun though.
Well, and you stay working on that. Do the silent prayer. You stay present. You're fine. And this thing that happened with that girl, forget about it. Try to avoid it, of course, but forget about it. Move on with your life. That was not a sin.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess, everything, like, God kind of has worked everything out in my life except for, like, I don't really know if even, like, the Christian women are going to try and sleep with you. Like, how do you even like talk to a woman? I don't know.
You talk to her by being you. Don't put on a front. You be who you are. You be honest and be fair and just deal with them like you would anyone. Christian women are not special. They're no different than secular women. And so just treat them the way you would treat anybody. Don't be angry at them and be honest with them. That's all you have to do. And don't look for a wife. You only you only stay on the path of what is right. And if God intends for you to have a wife, He will add one unto you. But don't want for one. Don't look for one. You're only supposed to want for what is right and nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not even that just that I'm like, going out looking for one, but it's like, just living my life. I'll
right.
You run into them or whatever.
Yeah. and just because she says she's a Christian, don't think it's just a name. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it's just another title. It's just another title.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, well, yeah, no, I love the show, and thank you. You're pretty much the reason I found God and changed my life. Forgiven and all the stuff. It actually works. So
yeah.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, man. To stay with us, stay present. You'll be fine. It gets better.
Okay, awesome. Well, Talk to you later, Jesse. God bless.
Bro. You too. Merry Christmas. Bye. Amazing. It's so interesting to me. It's very, very Mamma Mia Ola Season interesting to me to really see and understand that hell is right here on earth. And that every human being, everyone, not one, can avoid it. You're truly living in hell. But the hell is inside of you, and then because it's inside of you and you're not working on yourself, it is expressed through you to the outside. And it brings on nothing but hell. It's just evil. There's no such thing as a good person. There are only evil people. And the things that people do and say and act toward one another and themselves, themselves and others, is mind-blowing to me. But I understand it. But it's just mind-blowing. I had no idea. I had no idea the depths of hell right here on earth, and I had no idea the depths of hell that human beings bring upon themselves and bring upon others. And when they bring hell upon themselves and others, they have excuses that come with it. Emotional, lying excuses. They're all lies. The misery of human being is mind-blowing. And I think about in the Old Testament how there was not one good person on earth. God was like, okay, go down there, go down yonder, and find me one good person, find me 10 good people. And the Spirit went down and looked around and looked at all the women first, and they could not find one good woman. Think about that. On the whole earth. They looked at social media. They looked at Google and YouTube. They looked in the churches, the schools, in the homes, in the playgrounds, in the doctor's offices, in the bar, in the bars, and on the fan pages, and they could not find one good woman. He went back and said, well, I can't find 10. And then so he said, okay, go back and see could you find one, just one. and they could not find one good woman. Does that remind you of today? And then they said, well, find me 10 good men. Went and looked in the same places. And they said, well, I can't find, because God was saying, if you can find me a few, I will save the world. I won't destroy the earth. So they went and looked, and he went back and said, I cannot find 10 good men. And then God said, all right, one more time, go and find one good man, and I'll save the earth. And remind you, they could not find one good woman in the whole earth. Until they went back and looked for men, they found one good man, only one. And as a result, the earth was saved. They found one good man, not one good woman at all. And women want to lie to you, tell you how good they are. Ain't nothing good in you. Because Satan is your God. And so God was like, oh, pretty cool, one, I'll save it. So he saved us in the Old Testament from hell and built a New Testament, which is heaven, inside of us and up there, above us. And yet, people don't want to enter into the kingdom. They love their hell. They love their misery. They love to fight over race and this and that and money and anger and jealousy and envy and strife, suicidal thoughts. They love it. And they say to God, I don't know why you up there have built a new kingdom. I don't want that. I love my hell, they say. I love my misery, they say. And God like, okay, everything has been done. It's finished. The kingdom is finished. Everything is done. All is well. You can just enter into the kingdom and have an amazing life while you live. You can have perfect peace. They're like, I don't want that. What the? But then a few said, yeah, I want that. I want perfect peace. So I will seek what's right first. I will look for what's right, men and women, right? And so a few men and women decided that they wanted to seek the kingdom of God and his right way first, above all things and all people. And those men and women have paradise on earth. Isn't that amazing? You can have your hell on earth, or you can have your paradise on earth. It's up to you. God is not going to force you to enter into paradise. He's not going to force you. But the way has been made. You come on home or you stay in darkness and try to inflict your hell upon the people who want the light. Human beings are horrible. Horrible. Ain't nothing good about them. Ecclesiastes 7:28 says, one man among 1,000 is found. One man among 1,000 is found, but a woman among all these I have not found. Isn't that amazing? One man, Ecclesiastes, I didn't say it. It's in the Word. It's in the Bible. It's in the Word. Ecclesiastes 7:28 says, one man among 1,000 is found, but a woman among all these I have not found. While I was still searching, but not finding, I found one upright man among 1,000, but not one upright woman among all these. But not one upright woman among all these. Not one. And you foolish men, oh, I got an amazing wife. I got an amazing... No, you don't. You're lying. Now there are a handful of women who are now working on themselves to overcome the anger and the fallen state, right? That's a handful. One handful. And that's all really it's going to be, only a few. Amazing, huh? And as a result, hell is right here on earth. Don't be afraid to die. You're already dead. Your eyes are just, physical eyes are open, but you're dead. Anyone that has anger is dead. Never trust an angry human being. They're evil. An angry man or woman is a murderer. They have no love. Guy, a first-time caller out of Washington. Guy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Morning, Jesse Lee.
Hey, Guy.
How's your day going?
All is well. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir. I just want to say I appreciate your wisdom, knowledge about people.
Yes.
Just like the caller before me, I have a problem with a lot of people. I self-isolate myself.
Meaning what?
I go to work, I come home, I don't associate with very many people.
And why not?
I don't care for people's attitudes. They're me first attitude, I guess you'd say.
But you do realize that they're evil and they can't help themselves, right?
I do realize that. And I'm no better. I'm just as evil, I guess, in my own ways.
Yeah.
I don't fit in. I never really have my whole life. I'm 54. I've been alone since 2007, other than messing around with a bunch of different women, which I quit doing that about 5-6 years ago.
Right on.
And that's another thing. Women out here, I don't know about the young ones, but women around my age are evil.
All women are evil, except for those who have started to see that they are evil, and they are working on overcoming it now that they can see it. But all women are evil because Satan is the woman's god.
I understand that by watching you for the last, I guess, maybe 3.5 years.
Yes. Have you dropped your anger?
Probably not as much as I need to.
And why not? Why have you let it all go? Why don't you just drop it?
I think it's a self-protection mode.
But anger is not that's your enemy. There's nothing you're not protected by anger. You're controlled by anger. Anger is your enemy. It's evil.
I've been listening to you talk about this for years now, and I try, and then it seems like when I let that anger go, somebody hurts me.
No.
And I don't mean like, what's that?
You don't mean like what?
I don't mean like physically. It's just like I get let down. So that anger to me keeps me at bay. And I know I need to lose it.
Yeah, you do. When you say you get let down, can you give me an example? What do you mean by let down?
I don't know what I mean by let down. It's just, so I was once told that by my pastor that I guess, and I don't mean to be this way, I guess I hold myself at real high standards, and that nobody will ever meet the standards that I hold for myself. And I guess that's one of my flaws, that I expect people to hold themselves at my standard and not where they're at in life.
But your standard, you have to drop your standard and not have a standard if you want to be free.
Okay.
You got to let it all go. And so are you able to give me an example of being let down?
Not right off the top of my head.
Why don't you drop your standard so you can naturally live the true standards?
I was told that, and I don't know why. I guess some things were like beat into me as a kid, like standards, and those things have never. I treat people as well as I possibly can, and I guess it doesn't ever like reciprocate. I guess they say those that are like, I'll help anybody, Jesse Lee. I won't help the bums on the street corners, these young kids, but I'll buy food. I won't give money. I'll help people, and it just, I guess that's a letdown when, like, I need a ride to work this morning and nobody will call me. I got a flat tire and I don't have a jack big enough, and I can't get anybody to answer the phone to me. But if somebody called me right now, I would be the first one to help them.
You should stop doing that.
I've tried.
What it is, Guy, and then I got to run here because of time, is that you got to drop your anger so you can see. Angry people cannot see, and so you're living life in the darkness rather than in the light. So I would recommend that you drop your anger. Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
My mother's passed away, but Jesse, I've got nothing to forgive my mom for. That woman was the rock of my life. My dad was in and out. He was a bad alcoholic. And yes, I did have a father in my life, but my mother she wasn't like the rest of them. The mother, I'm part of 4 kids. I was born, my oldest brother's 15 years older than me. I was the only kid left in the home, but I have nothing to forgive my mother for.
So she was perfect?
She wasn't perfect.
What was imperfect? Give me an example of something that was imperfect about her.
She kept taking my dad back, even though he was a violent drunk.
And so you got to forgive her for controlling your father like that.
Oh, there was no controlling my father.
Yeah,
Yes,
the reason she took him back because she controlled him and he didn't know how to deal with her. And so she took him back so she can pretend that she was better than him, that he was the problem and not her, when it really was she was the problem. Your father didn't know how to deal with her.
And you're right. As I got older, my dad didn't know how to deal with too many people in life, Jesse Lee.
Yeah, but especially your mother. And you got to forgive your mother for deceiving you like that. She turned you away from your father.
No, actually, my father did that by almost killing me when I was a little boy.
Well, that was because you identified with your mother. You treated him the way that your mother treated him.
I don't remember it like that.
Yeah, you didn't have any love for him. You only had hate because you took on your mother's identity. She made you think that she was the good one and made you think that your father was the bad guy. So you saw him the way she saw him.
Actually, no, Jesse Lee. My father showed himself. This is what he said to me one time. There was no love. If you, he said love was for homosexuals and puppy dogs. What are you, a dog or a homosexual? He was just angry. The man, he didn't have coping skills.
Well, he didn't have love. You're right. He didn't have love either. Have you forgiven him?
Oh, yes. He died pretty much in my arms about 5 years ago. We had one good year of life together.
And did you tell him that you forgive him? You're sorry for resenting him?
Yes, I did.
And why didn't you tell your mother that, too?
I didn't she passed away in 96. I never had any, there was nothing to forgive her for. She did everything she could.
Right. But that doesn't mean it was right.
True. Not everything she did was right, but I can guarantee you that if not for her, I would have been homeless because my dad took off, left. He was what they call a binge drinker, Jesse Lee. He'd, excuse me, he'd stay sober for maybe 2 years and then be gone for another 4 drinking. But the whole time he was drinking, he'd come back and terrorize us.
Do you drink?
Not anymore, Jesse Lee. I got 6 years clean and sober now.
Well, drop the anger so you can be completely free And that way, you won't be disappointed in human beings because you would see that you should never trust another person anyway. But you won't resent them either. You will deal with them, but you know not to trust them.
And, I was born that way. Don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
And so I nearly died. I had 6 years clean. And then in 2016, the brain damage from OxyContin and fentanyl caught up to me. And I used to be more of an outlaw type of a person.
Yes.
And then after I was basically 3 doctors said, it was God that saved you. I got really close to Jesus by the example because I know how sick I was. I had no body hair left. It took them 6 months to find out what was wrong with me. I laid dying in my bed from June of 2016 till November of 2017.
Amazing.
And amazing. God is good. And,
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I try it at night a lot. Yes, I do. That's another thing. What exactly is the silent prayer, Jesse?
It's for you to let go and just become the observer of those lies in your imagination, the false self. You want to be able to see those thoughts and not go with them, don't identify with them so you can become free. God will take you away from your imagination. All thoughts are all lies. So
you're right on that.
Yeah, give it a good try. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right. Hey, I love you, brother. I love the whole show. I appreciate your knowledge, and God bless you, my friend.
You too, buddy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jesse Lee. You have a good day, my friend.
You too, buddy. In out of Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning, Jesse.
Hey, In.
Hey, man. How you been?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Cool. Well, first, I want to say that Bryce Mitchell Fallen State was pretty cool.
It was amazing. Bryce Mitchell is the UFC fighter. And I had an amazing conversation with Bryce on the Fallen State last weekend. And he won his fight last Saturday. So the interview was last Friday great. And the fight was last Saturday. Yeah, that was amazing.
Cool. Well, I got some things going on I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
Well, I've sent in a couple super chats, and recently I told you that I'm still living with my mom, and I'm trying to get a job.
How old are you?
Your advice. Oh, I'm 32.
Okay. And so,
but a little background. I was 18. I was 18 and on my own for 10 years. And then I took my mom's opportunity, but it was a mistake. I forgave him because I heard your message, and I knew in my heart that I had to. Something told me that I hated her so much, but I had to let it go. So I did. But my concern has been that I was in a fallen state when I forgave her. I was smoking weed, but I wasn't high when I did. I was in my senses, and I knew it was wrong for hating her, and I forgave her. But I'm wondering if I did that out of just fear. I think that I did it. I forgave her. I tell myself all kinds of things, and I'm wondering if I forgave her just because I was afraid of going to hell if I didn't. I don't know.
So your question is what now?
Well, is my mom getting in the way of perfect peace? Because I don't have a perfect peace.
Why don't you move out? I mean, why? It was a mistake to move back in there with her when she invited you in. Now that you know, why don't you move out?
Well, first step I have to get a job. See, I got fired because I was a pothead.
But why don't you go and get another job? There are a whole bunch of jobs out there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm applying every day. I stopped in and dropped off my resume.
Oh, okay.
I'm calling back places, and they're.
Okay.
It's interesting how I have to deal with all these females who are in charge of hiring. I haven't talked to a single man about a job.
I know, that's so unfortunate, man. It really is unfortunate. But let me ask, so you forgave your mother, and are you still getting angry when you are around her?
I stay quiet because everything that we talk about ends up being something extra that it doesn't have to be.
Right.
So yeah, I called you once and you told me never ever argue with her again, and I
Yes.
never did since.
Oh, good.
But she would try. She would really, really try. And
I know.
just have to let her talk without, you know.
Oh, and why don't you
so that
walk
part is-
away when she tried to start an argument about something? Why don't you just walk away?
I can. I would be doing something in the house where I couldn't at the time walk away. I mean, I could, but I knew I was going to finish what I was doing, and instead of walking away, I had to stay,
Okay.
there.
I got you.
But
And
so
here's what I recommend. And if you give this a good try, you're going to be fine. When you're around her, let's say you're around her, and she trying to make you start an argument or try to be nice or whatever, and if you see that anger comes up, you think and you feel it, just see it. Do nothing about it. Don't call it you. Just be conscious of it. Be aware of it, and it will be taken away from you. Stop identifying with thoughts and feelings, and then you will be made to be free from them.
right, and are we? We're not born free, are we? We're
Yeah.
born in a fallen state.
No, we're born free, but by the time your mother's done with you, you fall away from freedom into hell because you become angry like her. You can't deal with the hell that's in your mother. And the moment you become angry, then you become enslaved. But the
Right.
beauty
I know what that
about
feels
it,
like.
the beauty about realizing you're wrong for resenting her is that God will forgive you and He'll take that spirit and those spirits away from you, and you'll be free again the way you were when you were born, first born.
Yeah. I quit weed about a month ago, and now I'm living clear.
Yes.
I like my clear head, and it's real life. I was amazed at how blind I was making myself.
Yes.
But now I know and I see that drinking and drugging, like I have no desire, and I know that. I don't run to it anymore.
Right on.
But now my problem would be, like the sexual desires I have. I don't go chasing women, but the thoughts I have, I don't know. I can't suppress it, and this ties into.
Well, don't suppress
Anchor
it.
Baby
You
had a
want
caller.
you go ahead.
He had a caller, and he said that thinking about another woman is the same thing as having sex.
Yes.
And that's not right. But Anchor Baby said that just the thought is as bad as doing it.
Right, because
Having the thought
sex
of it is just
the
as bad.
sex is not the problem. It's thinking about it. The sex is thinking about it. That's where the problem is, because when you think about it, you've already done it, right? So when it comes now, just as you did with the smoking and all that, the drinking, you became aware of it and you lose the appetite. So when those desires come, don't call them you. Don't fight with them. Just watch them. And I promise you, they'll be taken away from you. And then,
I like your idea.
And then when you get married, if you get married, you're going to have, because you would now have control of yourself, you're going to have control of everything. Nothing will control you, and no one will be able to control you. So don't fight against the desire. Don't let the Satan tell you, oh, you're a sex addict, you're this, you're that. It's all lies. Those are demons. Those are spirits inside of you. So when that comes, just watch it. Don't fight with it. Don't call it you. And that will be taken from you as well.
Yeah, so it's because it's the wickedness of the heart, right?
No, it's because you believe the thoughts now. You have identified with the thoughts. When you forgave your mother, your heart changed from hate to love. Now your old nature will change, and you will have control over all those things. And you will stop believing thoughts.
Okay, so it's not right for me to tell myself that I'm evil if I have those sexual things on my mind, right?
No, don't tell yourself that. Don't say that. And when you say telling yourself, who are you? Who are you telling that to?
Well, that's the interesting part is I don't know who I am, but I try to know who I'm not.
Right. So stop saying those things because there's no you to call yourself that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting trying to get a job with this new life that I'm trying to live, because I used to just be locked in my imagination. I could get a job, no problem, because I had to pretend, and now I can't pretend anymore.
Right, but you just be aware and go in there and apply for the job, show them what you can do, and you'll get a job. Don't worry about that. That'll happen naturally as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got to stay present, and that's a challenge sometimes. I still do the prayer. I can have a song going in my head, and I can think different thoughts at the same time, and I still sit there with my eyes closed and try to relax through everything, and that's all I can do.
Well, just watch it all day. Practice being present. Be aware of yourself going in and out of different rooms through doors, and just little things that if you practice being present, being aware will become normal to you, and being unaware will be abnormal to you.
Yeah, so being aware, is that okay to say, is it okay to tell myself I'm here, I'm sitting here, or I'm driving? Like I can't be somewhere else, I'm right here.
Right, that's fine.
I shouldn't be telling myself.
After a while, you won't have to remind yourself of that. It'll be natural. So it's okay to, remind yourself, I'm in this room, I can see myself, I'm aware of myself. Because right now you're working on yourself, and eventually it's going to be just as it was to live a life of being unconscious. It was abnormal, right? It's going to be normal to live a life of consciousness, being aware in the present, and it's going to be abnormal to live a life of unconsciousness.
Yeah, and when you said be aware of every judgment you make, even if it's for yourself, whatever sounds you make, and I was surprised at how many times I caught myself judging, just amazing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, man, I'll stay with it.
Yeah, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. It will only get better. It's got to be clear. Eventually, you will have a clear mind and not a dark mind.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll stay on track.
All right, buddy. Let me know how it goes.
No problem, man. Thanks to you.
You're welcome. Amazing. DEWAYNE out of Connecticut.
Yes.
DEWAYNE, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Are you on an iPad, iPhone, or something? I mean,
is this better?
Hold on a minute.
Is this better here?
Yeah. Are you on your phone now directly?
Yep, directly on the iPhone. Sorry about that, Jesse.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, my fiance's mother has been watching my son for about 2 years now. My son's 2 years old, and everything's been pretty good. But she has this tendency to not respect the boundaries or rules we set in place. For example, last night, she had some stuff to do, but she didn't tell us until the last minute. And the stuff she had to do is in New York. Now I'm in Connecticut, and we discussed it. I said I don't want my son going to New York. I'm not there with him. I can't protect him. So anyway, she went and did it anyway. And when I talked to her about it, she tried to start yelling at me, screaming at me, all different types of stuff. Oh, you don't trust me. You don't treat my daughter well. This is abuse. You're treating her like a child, and totally unrelated to the issue at hand, which is I didn't want my son leaving the state with you, and he left the state. So, I'm trying to keep peace in my home. My fiance is on board with me. But I just want your opinion on how I deal with a difficult mother-in-law or soon-to-be mother-in-law. We're planning to be married next year.
Does she live with you guys?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. And so your question is how to deal with her?
how do I deal with her? Because I'm going to have to deal with her for the rest of my life.
Why? Why do you have to deal with her for the rest of your life?
Well, I love her daughter, and her daughter is very family oriented. So, we're going to have to cross paths, and it's always a crossing of boundaries. So it's a challenging situation to handle. Where I love my fiancée,
but you are your fiancée family now, not her mother. Her mother is not her family anymore. That's why God said for the man to take his wife far away from her family. I would recommend when she get back, you take your baby back to safety, away from her, and have nothing else to do with her. Don't let her call your fiancé. Don't let her in your house. Don't let your child near her, and have nothing to do with her. She's evil, and you need to be honest about that. Hey, you're evil. Stay away from my family. And if your daughter, if your fiancé insists on being around her mother, then you tell your fiancé goodbye. Have nothing to do with her either.
And what about the boy?
You keep your son if you can. But let's say she start crying and go to court and take your child, let her have the baby too. Don't let anyone or anything be that important to you that you will give up the truth for it. They will destroy you otherwise.
And you think that's the only solution there?
That's the right solution. Have nothing to do with that bitch never again. And be honest with her about it. Once you get your child back in your hand, you be honest, hey, you stay away from my family. You're evil. And if your little fiance start, oh, that's my family, blah, 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 blah. You tell her to make up her mind. Either she's going to be with you because you're the older family she has now, or if she says, no, I want my mother, then don't marry her. You're making a mistake.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the solution might be to have her, stay at home, and I'll just take care of everything. Right now, she's paying for the child care, and I said we can eliminate that if I let you stay at home and just cover the bills, but under the condition that we definitely set boundaries with other family.
I don't know what that have to do with anything. What I'm telling you, you got to keep her mother away from your family. She's evil.
It has to do with she's working too right now, so that's why the mother is watching the child like full time.
Hire someone else to watch the child if you got to do it, not the mother. You cannot have any excuse to keep that woman in your life. You already see she's your enemy. She will destroy your marriage. She's going to turn your daughter against you. Your fiancé against you.
Yeah, I agree, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, thank you for your time.
All right. Bye. Amazing. You can't play with the spirit of the woman. It's evil. You're playing with the devil. And if you're going to get with a woman and she said, oh, I want my mama around, then leave her with mama. You go and work on yourself. Return to the Father, you'll be fine. Jay is a first-time caller out of California. Jay, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, can you hear me good?
Go ahead.
Hey, I used to watch you on Alex Jones' show back, I think, around 2020.
Right on.
That's where I first saw you. Good times. Anyway, so I had a question about resentment. I have a lot of resentment inside of me because I got with my children's mother before I was a Christian, and I was into drugs and doing things that weren't responsible.
Right.
And then I was born again after I had already had kids with her. And so I reversed everything in my life to try to just do my best at resembling who Jesus was. Just an example, I fail pretty miserably at it a lot, but I'll just focus on
Jay, hold
the
on.
truth.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm getting static in your phone. Hello?
Yeah. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better. Is that better, Jay? Yeah, do it on speakerphone. Were you on the speakerphone before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on a headset.
No, never be on a headset or speakerphone when calling into the show, all right?
Gotcha.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much all I do now is I just tell the truth at all times.
Right.
I don't lie about anything.
Good.
And that's with my kids, too. I just tell them the truth about everything that I think even they can't understand to a point. They're 10 and 11. But the point, my problem is you're saying don't resent people when they're doing evil things to you because they can't help it.
Right.
My argument against that is Jesus said many times in the New Testament that we need to judge things not by our flesh's standard, but by his standard of righteousness. So he's pretty much saying we need to judge all things righteously, not in a way where we benefit personally against somebody else.
Right.
So I have anger towards her because she intentionally, knowingly sets the stage with massive traps that I can't help but fall in because I'm trying to be a good dad. And if I don't resent her, I can't have anger towards her to where she'll stop it, because I found she stops doing it as much if I'm catching her doing it. So my question is, if anger makes you a murderer, I'm not saying that, I might be taking it out of context, but you just said that if you have anger towards somebody, you're a murderer. Jesus had anger in the temple when he turned the tables. And I think that was him providing evidence to us that righteous anger is proper anger, because at a certain point, when humans push you around too much, you have to use what God has given you as a defense mechanism to warn them off from further evilness towards you. Does this make sense?
No.
Okay.
Zero, no sense. Number one.
Just justifying, huh?
Yeah. Number one. Number one, if you understood what's happening with you, what's driving you, knowing that it's not you, but something else is driving you, you will understand that about all people. And so when this woman play her little games, you would not resent her because you would know that it's not her. It's something else driving her. And in knowing that, you won't judge her, meaning that you won't be angry and judging her. You will still deal with the situation, but you would not judge her because you would just know that she's evil and she can't help it. And that's what it means to have righteous anger, is to see what's driving others and don't judge them for it. And then what they're doing, what they're trying to do to you, it won't happen to you. It'll happen to them. They're doing it to themselves, thinking that they're hurting you, and they're not. But if you judge them, then you're going to have a false identity of yourself. You're going to think that it's being done to you, and you're going to feel the pain of it. You're going to get mad. You're going to want to strike out. You want to get revenge. But what other people are doing, they're not doing it to you. They're doing it to themselves. If you truly saw that there was no you and you had perfect love, your enemy will surround you all about, but they will not be able to touch you because you would know there is no you and you have perfect love.
I agree with you. Say there's a court involved monitoring our communications. Am I to call her out on those communications that they want to see what we react to with one another because there's kids involved and we're sharing custody? Or like the last caller, do I just disregard my kids if it causes me anger and I just betray them and leave? That's a serious question, by the way.
Right.
Because I don't think I can follow your advice in my situation currently because I had kids before I was a Christian. So I've already dug myself a hole when it comes to baggage that holds me back from being the best Christian I can, which is dealing with a sociopath who is their mother. And it causes me anger. I agree with you that
I need to not judge her because you're right. She does it to everybody that is involved in her life.
Yeah.
So it's not just me, it's everybody. And that proves your point that it's her.
Right.
She's doing it to herself because she not only does it to me mostly because I have kids with her and she resents that I'm here and I'm a Christian and I'm out shining her in God's image.
Are you living with her right now?
No. She left me back in 2016 and took my kids, and I had to fight in court to get them back.
Oh, I see. And so now you have custody, or you have her divided custody of your
we
children.
share it.
Oh, okay, share
Yep.
custody. And what happens when it's time for you to be with your children?
She gaslights them and alienates me, telling them things like, hey, I'm going to take your dad back to court, but just don't tell him. Keep it a secret. We're going to move to Hawaii, even though that's not feasible or sensible, but it's a really fun place that she's taken them multiple times on vacation. So she'll use those happiness times to try to program them into thinking I'm the enemy of their happiness because I'm saying no to Hawaii.
Right.
And she'll alienate me, trying to turn them against me because they don't know better. And it works. And
how old are they?
10 and 11.
Oh, okay. And what do you mean by the court have to monitor you by phone or something you said?
Yeah, so we're using an application they've ordered due to the dysfunction, which is called a Talking Parents app, which is monitored by them, and we use it just to communicate back and forth.
That's awful. Why don't you?
I know.
Why don't you drop all of this and work on you? Let the kids go, let everything go, and just work on you.
I would have to turn away from them and leave them to a sociopath 100% of the time, which would cause them to never be saved from their sin.
But she's
by
never.
Christ.
She's not going to let that happen now anyway. And once they become of age, you don't know what's going to happen then. But by you staying in and frustrating yourself like that, it's not working anyway. She's destroying them anyway.
Can I give you an example how I know I'm making progress? Not me, but Christ in me.
Okay.
With the kids?
Yeah.
In Romans 7, it talks about the battle between our flesh and the Spirit of God, who Christ left to dwell with us to help guide us. In Romans 7, Paul talks about the battle will take place at all times. He said, wretched man that I am. This is after he's built churches up. This is after he's wrote lots of the letters that are the New Testament. And he's saying, wretched man that I am right now, even though I'm as Christian as anybody could assume, I'm still wretched. My flesh still conquers what I want to do for God, which is glorify him by saying no to my flesh. My son, when he was 8 years old, out of nowhere, and I've never shared Romans 7 with him except a little bit, not enough to understand, and most adults can understand it. It sounds like gibberish or like psycho thought, like contradiction. My son said, I almost was mean to Max, but I said no to my flesh and did not do it. Only a Christian that's saved and has the Holy Spirit dwelling in them can understand that and say no to their flesh. And my son did that. And he's done it multiple times after that. So that, to me, says that it's not me making progress for him saying no to his sin. It's me setting an example against her complete darkness to my mostly bright light that I'm trying to shine for Christ by telling the truth all the time. So that's why I will not leave, because I can see there's progress. And if I leave, there's no doubt that Satan will run everything. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. Don't know how that scripture applies to your situation, but I do know that you don't love them, because if you love them, you will be willing to let them go, and that your everything that you're feeling and thinking is all about you, and it has nothing to do with the children. And even with her, It has nothing to do with the children. It's all about her. Two devils are fighting together. Because if you love God with all your heart, soul, and might, you would not cut the baby in half. You ain't no way in the world you would be hooked up to some phone where the court have to communicate with you and all that. You would not be controlled by anything or anyone if you truly love God. You love the idea of God, but you don't love God because you're unwilling to let go of the world.
But so you're pretty much saying if anything causes you to stumble, remove it.
I'm saying that if you can become angry, emotional, and just fake love and worry and fight with the devil, you don't love God. You don't know God. You just know about him. And right now, you're at war with another devil. Two devils are fighting, and you're losing.
What if my anger was on a Richter scale a 10 prior, and now it's like a 3, and I'm making massive progress with God's help?
Well, anger
Do I
is
just abandon
anger is
sanctification.
Anger is anger is anger. There's no scale of it. Evil is evil and evil. Either you are no anger or you're all anger. It's not. There's no gray area for anger.
Okay, let's wrap it up then. What about Christ in the temple when he turned the tables and had anger?
He did
Was
not
he a
have.
murderer?
He did not have the anger that you have. You have a judgmental anger. Christ had discernment. You don't have that.
Okay.
Christ,
But
God,
the Holy
and
Spirit in me
Christ
allows me the discernment.
God and Christ had dispassionate love. You have passionate love, and that's what's driving you. And that passionate love is of your father, the devil.
All right, I got you. I don't agree, but I understand your point of view.
And why don't you agree?
Because Christ said to judge all things. He didn't say judge all things righteously, but he said use proper discernment and judge things with truth, which means he expects. Go ahead.
No, finish your point. It means he expects what?
Which means he expects us to have trials and tribulations, but to lean on the Holy Spirit as guidance to help us be sanctified and made new again.
Where are you getting all this from? That's insane.
The New Testament. Ask your co-host. He knows everything I'm saying is exactly proper.
Who about co-host?
The guy that was talking about the Old Testament and God's names and things of that nature.
Oh, you mean Hake?
Yeah, ask him. He's not like I know what I'm talking about. God's doing amazing things in my life. I'm not perfect, but
do you
not perfect.
Do you want to know God?
I do know God.
Do you want to know God for sure?
I know that I'm a sinner, and that is the first
Do you
step.
want to know God instead of knowing about Him?
Yeah.
Drop your anger. You can't serve anger
I'm
and
trying.
God. I'm sorry?
I'm trying.
How?
And I'm succeeding sometimes.
How are you trying?
By walking away when I'm mad.
No, that's not how you overcome anger.
Complete anger?
Right.
Forever? No anger in my life ever again?
Right.
So you're saying you're never angry?
Never.
Ever?
Because anger is evil. Anger is of the heart. And any man or woman that has anger, their hearts are wicked. And you can't walk away from that. You have to overcome that.
Okay, well, we're going to disagree, and I profess the gospel now on your show, and everybody heard it, and they understand where I'm coming from. You can laugh, Jesse, but I disagree with you, and I'm pointing to scriptures.
No, right, and that's the problem.
Okay.
All you're doing is intellectually quoting scriptures while losing the battle. Thank you, Jay.
Answering your question.
Call me again, Jay. I got to take a break. Back in a moment. LAZELL out of L.A. LAZELL, welcome to the show. You're on the air. LAZELL?
Hello? Yes. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes.
First thing I wanted to do was thank you for the advice you gave me. I had called you Thanksgiving to deal with a matter with my wife, and yeah, the advice you gave, just had a conversation. I think it was in the best interest. But I wanted to respond to one of your callers.
Okay.
He was telling you that the silent prayer isn't in the Bible.
Right.
And I found it in the Bible. I believe I found it in the Bible.
Come back to your phone real fast because of time.
Okay. Yes, in Ecclesiastes 5:1-2 says, "As you enter the house of God, keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Amazing.
Be able to make mindless offerings to God. Don't make rash promises. Don't be hasty in bringing matters before God. After all, God is in heaven, and you are here on earth. So let your words be few."
Amazing. What an amazing way to end the show, man. I couldn't have asked for anything better. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Peterson. Thank you, and yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Right on, man. I'm believing that. That's amazing. Thank you, man.
No worries. No worries.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. And even though he's that caller, the cancer, he's real hostile with you.
Yep.
He's your biggest fan, Mr. Peterson. He loves you. He just don't know how to express it yet.
That's right.
But again, Mr. Peterson, thanks for the advice, and happy holidays.
You too, buddy. Merry Christmas.